disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. We are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. Don't forget to follow us on all of the social medias at the Sportsocracy. It is Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy.
That's not how you do
that. Well, you're sick. I didn't know if you were going to have the fire today.
I don't have a bunch of them in me, but
All right. So it is a
Power Rankings Tuesday.
Yes. That was not bad. Jeremy's a little under the weather. Hopefully.
That's a nice way of saying I feel like I got hit by a bus.
I mean, that's how it goes sometimes. You got the would you get the flu while you were at the game or something? Or
I caught something terrible.
Just something.
I'm too tired to even think of a funny joke for what I caught.
He was eating soup earlier and had to ask me the question of, am I weird because I like Campbell's soup? And I thought that was probably the strangest question I'll hear today. Like, who doesn't like Campbell's soup?
Well, I mean, it's obviously not as good as homemade soup, but it's serviceable soup when, you're in distress.
Right. I mean, I look at soup much like I look at biscuits. Like, I'm not really going to turn down a biscuit.
Oh, I will turn down 90% of biscuits you put in front of me.
Will you?
For sure.
My goodness.
Most of them are drier than a cat's paws.
I'm not turning down a biscuit. Now, whether or not it's going to be a good one or not, that's debatable because it does take a lot of skill.
Patrick Holt said I got the itis. That's points for Patrick.
He does.
I do. I have the death. I'm dying.
Oh, man. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy. We'll talk about all of the playoff teams. We'll rank them 1 to 14, or as we do, 14 to 1 on a Power Rankings Tuesday. We'll do that. We'll also have our daily draft coming up in the third hour of the program. We got to talk about a very special appearance on a brand new television show by one Jerry Jones. Just first off, hats off to you. But we'll get into Jerry Jones's performance on the latest episode of Landman. We won't give you. We'll try not to give you spoilers.
There
if
were
you haven't
no
seen
spoilers because
the episode.
And that's actually what I want to talk about. Is I've gone full conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat on my head. I don't think that was ironic. I really don't. I think that was planned, and it had been planned for a long time.
Yeah,
we have our first super chat of the day.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
All right, it's from Soaring Eagle, who wants to talk about the fact that apparently every player in Miami now wants out. If you follow us on social media, you would see that we put out Jalen Ramsey, who apparently doesn't understand how the internet works.
Mm-hmm.
You can delete it, bruh. Doesn't mean I can't find it. And I did. He waxed poetic with Stephen Towle said it was some copy and paste job.
He was a copy paste job.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, that was like a chain letter thing that
for sure.
he found somewhere.
About feeling like I'm wanted and like you want me to be here.
Like, I'm worth $1 million, but the situation that I'm in is only worth 10 cents. Sometimes somebody worth $1 million gets overlooked in a place that's only worth 10 cents. And so when I need to spread my wings and go to some place that's worth $2 million, you'll see how good I am. That was essentially what I took away from that. I went, okay, first off, you need to return that poster to the dentist office.
For sure. You need to put that magazine back in the waiting room because that Reader's Digest entry was not worth reposting.
Second off, maybe you should paraphrase, put things in your own words, maybe words that your followers might be able to understand.
Am I the only one that read that? I immediately thought of the How I Met Your Mother thing when Lily and Marshall were getting married, and she just throws her hands up and says, "Screw it, we'll do the thing about Jesus and the footprints in the sand." I'm tired of thinking about this. I'm tired of thinking about it. Let's just do that. It works. It always works. It's fine.
Thirdly, it's hard for me to believe or to take you seriously, I guess, when at one moment you're telling everybody you want to be a porn star and then the next you want to be Stuart Smiley. I don't know, and try to inspire people with your words.
That's Tyreek Hill,
like,
not Jalen Ramsey.
I don't know.
Tyreek Hill was the one that wanted to
do that's right. Film. That's right. My bad.
He also wants out of Miami. He also wants out of Miami. I understand how you got confused. I guess I'm looking at Miami going, okay, so let's just say this out loud. And I really swear I'm not doing this to end this sentence with, I told you so. Although that would be apropos. So you're telling me a team that can't draft really to save their lives, and the only thing they have cared about is unabashed, badass speed. Put all those personalities into a room, and they were coached by a 5'6" member of the Colombian cartel, and that didn't go well. I clutch my pearls. I am shocked that has not gone well. I thought surely this was the beginning of a dynasty in Miami. No kidding. You put a bunch of personalities down there with Tua Tagovailoa, it went, I would say, really predictably poorly, and now all of a sudden they all want out. I get it. No taxes in South Beach, that's really alluring. I also would bother you to look at that roster and realize how many of those guys have been in other places, and they became very dissatisfied with their situation elsewhere. Mm-hmm. All right, fellas, this is like rule number 1 of the Dude Handbook. If the girl cheated on a guy with you, she'll cheat on you with a guy.
Yes.
It's like basic common sense. It's really not that hard to figure out. And Miami tied their entire team to me first guys. And weird, you watch them play, they look very me first.
Mm-hmm.
They have all year long. The Jets should have beat them twice. If the Jets were competent, they would have beaten them twice.
And we all know that, that doesn't really work. This whole team sport thing doesn't really work when you have 11 individuals working individually, right? It's kind of the whole concept of there is no I in team. So we can't be shocked that this didn't go well, but you also can't be shocked that everybody's going, well, this is no fun.
We have a really good super chat from Sir Timothy.
Okay.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
I really need y'all to not make me laugh because it hurts to laugh quite a bit. Sir Timothy, Ramsey sounded like the single mom Methany. You don't know my story. Know your worth on Facebook after each breakup 2 months later. Proud mom of Jalen and Dalen and Tyler. I always like when they put the 3 initials in there. And they have 4 final initials. You can assume what that means. I know what it means, and it's funny.
Mm-hmm. It's no fun to lose. No. And me first guys hate that almost more than working together as a team. Of course it wasn't going to work. And of course these big egos are getting upset that they're not getting theirs. They're not getting their due because they're tied to a Tagovailoa, or the coaching is not up to snuff, or nobody trusts the system, or our coach is wearing chinos again. Like, it's just turned to gross. It was all fun and cool while it was, for 7 weeks at the end of the first season. That first season where Tua was going off. It was fun. Yeah, now it's not fun.
It's fun to dress like Don Johnson for a while. But then there comes a time where you're just a douch wearing a T-shirt under a blazer, and people look at you and go, you realize how stupid you look, right? Mm-hmm. Like you're not wearing socks with your shoes, and those things probably smell like the inside of a wool hat. So could you stop? Mm-hmm. Did you also notice the irony of the timing? That Tyreek Hill's comments came literally 5 minutes after the Stephen Ross press release about Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer were coming back, mm-hmm. and then Tyreek Hill went to the podium, and then Jalen Ramsey went to Twitter or Instagram. I think that was on Instagram. That's not ironic. That's because these guys look around, and they look at Anthony Weaver, and yes, I am biased because, yes, I am friends with him. They look at him and go, that's a big boy. That's a big boy coach. And then they look at Mike McDaniel and go, that's not a big boy coach. It's Mike D'Antoni. That's exactly what he is. Oh, it's cute. You can score a lot of points. That's awesome. You had a defense that was vastly improved, and it didn't matter because you constantly put them in bad situations, and you can't beat anybody that's any good because you know who speed beats? Bad, slow teams. You know what doesn't beat? Good teams that out-scheme you.
But it's more than that. The offense was good. Like, watching them down the stretch of the season, I mean – had they given up? They were still in the playoff hunt, right? You watch that team on Sundays and go, this is gross. You take it a year back from a calendar year back from the last game that you watched the Miami Dolphins. You feel like that's the same team? Because they look like a shell of themselves. The problem I have is,
directly
don't they have the same players, all except for like Robert Hunt?
This is the Wildcat all over again. Yeah, when you catch me off guard with it, it's hard to scheme against. This ain't so hard to scheme against. Mm-hmm. You're trying to outsmart the league by having 2 4-3 guys on the outside and then funneling your entire offense through Jonnu Smith. Do you see how stupid that sounds when I say it out loud? There's a reason for that. Soaring Eagle told me in the message that he sent me overnight, he thinks there is a dark period coming for the Miami Dolphins that is bad. I can't tell him he's wrong. You're stuck in a mediocre quarterback for elite money with a coach that I think is bright but tries to outthink the room. It does not work in the NFL. If you think you're going to reinvent the wheel, it doesn't work. You know who wins in the NFL? Andy Reid wins in the NFL. Yeah, he has a wrinkle every now and then where Travis Kelce takes a snap or Pat Mahomes act like he's got to go take a poop and runs out of the huddle, and then all of a sudden they throw one to him. I do that once a year. I don't run my offense through it. Mm-hmm. You know what my offense is? I hand it to Kermit the Frog here and tell him to go mater people's faces, and I do it routinely. You can't do that because you hitched your little red wagon to Tua Tagovailoa. And shocker, guys with options don't want to be tied to that.
No.
Now, wouldn't it be great if Tyreek Hill could get to a place where he could just win at a high level, like, I don't know, Kansas? Oh, yeah, about that.
He already did that, though.
Isn't it always funny that the dichotomy of these things always runs the same way? You get the guy that's on the super competitive team and wins a lot. Now I want to get paid. Then they get paid literally 9 minutes after the check clears. I want to win again.
Yes.
Okay, just say that. Like, just tell it. We know. We knew you were going to do it.
We all know that's how this game goes. You got to capitalize while you can. So you get your money while you're young, but when you get older, you start thinking, I don't have much time left. Like I said yesterday, Tyreek Hill is right on. He is in the fourth quarter last drive of his career. He doesn't want to do this forever.
People tell me all the time that it's funny to them that I use relationship analogies to sports. You want to know why I do that? Because dudes at the net root of it, we're all the same. We all want the same 4 things. Now, you might not tell people you want that, but in the back of your – let me check that internet search history, bro. I know exactly what you want. You know why? Because I want the same things. If you look at guys like Tyreek Hill, it's not hard to figure out. He thought disrespected because he got bounced from Oklahoma State. He wound up at South Alabama, or he wasn't even at South Alabama, was he? Now I can't remember where he went to school. I know it was one of those schools in
Wachita Baptist.
Anyway, He was at a smaller school.
Right.
He felt disrespected. A lot of teams didn't have him on the board because he was a personality red flag. Then he wanted to get paid. Winning wasn't enough. Then he goes to Miami, and I'm going to be the guy. Well, being the guy is all well and good. Winning's a lot better. It's a lot more fun to count your hundreds when you're 15-2 than when you're 8-9. And every player in the NFL should heed that advice because nobody likes to lose. Nobody. There's not a guy on this planet that looks at a competition and goes, I'm going to be just fine if I lose that. You might handle it better than some of us. I don't want to lose at anything. I'll race you to the kitchen.
It's all about your priorities. And your priorities change as you get older. When you're young, you want to go chasing glory. You want to go chasing the bag, right? You want to get all the things. You want the whips and the fits and all the things.
Never heard it called glory before, but that's a new one. But okay.
But then as you get older, that no longer, because you've had all the things, right? He's had all of the cars that he can buy and all of the houses that he can live in, and it's not getting any better. Now there's another hole to fill, and that was bad. I'm trying to let it go.
You're not good at this.
I'm not good at letting it go. No. But now you have something else that needs to be satisfied. And that wasn't any better, was it?
No.
And now he needs to win.
I swear to you, I've got blood coming out of my ears right now because I'm like, are you doing this on purpose?
Of course I'm doing it on purpose. The dude's got to win. I'm too good to lose. Why the hell am I going to spend what little time I have left in this league on this team if this is how it's going to go? From a dude who stole his glasses from Elvis Costello. I'm good.
Gambit fan, I can't say that out loud, but good for you, bruh. Good for you.
Are you shocked that anybody wants to leave Miami? No.
No, I'm not shocked because I'd be looking at the Bills going, well, that train's not slowing down anytime soon. We've thrown dirt on them 4 times, and you know what they do? Every single time we do it, they come back better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at if I'm in Miami, I'm going, you know what? We're better than New England. We're awfully close to the Jets, and I feel like we're kind of circling the same drain. I'm good.
You find me a deal with a competitor or with a with a contender, and I'm out of here.
Now here's
Tyreek Hill. I would much rather spend my last few years taking whatever discount I had to go play with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore.
They couldn't make that work. The money on that doesn't work. Well, it could, but you're not going to like what it leads to.
I was going to say, well, but that's the
if
that's
you
the
had
thing.
to pick a landing spot for Tyreek Hill, where would it be? Because I have one, and it's going to sound a little strange when I say it, but I like it a lot.
I don't know. I was thinking like San Francisco or something.
Oh, Kyle Shanahan would kill him.
He'd kill him?
He would drive Kyle Shanahan crazy because he can't do any of the things that fit into that offense. No, the one I was thinking of?
Yeah.
Atlanta. Big arm Michael Penix. I've already got big body Drake London. Yeah. I could
not better than Miami, though.
Oh, it is certainly better than Miami. I don't have a Buffalo here. I have to beat Baker freaking Mayfield. Yeah, that's better. It's a lot better.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
by the way, a Tampa Bay team that's broke.
I don't think Tyreek Hill's goal is to win division championships. That's why I'm looking at the team that he could put over.
Name me the Super Bowl contender that would want him.
There's not one.
You think Dan Campbell signing up for that? Because I don't. You think Sean McDermott signing up for that? Because I don't. Nick Sirianni, how many receivers do you need to cover up your mediocre quarterback? Baltimore's the only one, and I don't really like that fit. I've already got the little speed guy. I need somebody that can go get a 12-yard catch.
What about
I don't have one of those.
What about the Los Angeles Chargers?
Are
they don't have a weapon. If they had Tyreek Hill, I would think so. I mean, they're already in the playoffs in the first year of Jim Harbaugh.
I would almost love to see that, just to see the dynamic. They would do a reality show of the dynamic between Jim Harbaugh and Tyreek Hill.
Absolutely.
And Jim would not have a hair left on his head in about 17 minutes.
It's quite possible. I mean, Pittsburgh Steelers, they love wide receiver divas.
Oh, yeah.
Give them 2.
Oh,
give them George Pickens and Tyreek Hill. See what happens.
You think he's pissed at Tua? Give him Russell Wilson for an hour. He might go full Bane and blow the stadium up like he did in Dark Knight Rises.
I don't know. Josh Allen? He becomes the next weapon for Josh Allen?
Buffalo's like, you know what? We don't need receivers. We're fine. We're just Kansas City light. We keep throwing in Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir. It just works.
It's hard for me to believe that there are too many teams out there that would look at him and go, nah, we're good.
Oh, he's such a locker room headache. He is such a headache in a locker room. I'm good, personally. And I think a lot of contenders would be. That's a personality that, yeah, it could win you a Super Bowl. It could also fracture your locker room. And I don't think a contender's going to do that. I think it's going to be a second-tier team. Like you said, the Chargers don't make a whole lot of sense because Jim Harbaugh's the one that's pulling the strings, and that's just not the way he operates. Atlanta, that one made a good bit of sense to me. There was another one, and now I can't, off the top of my head, remember. Denver was one that made sense. Can you imagine him and Marvin Mims on the same team? Hey, Bo, can you throw 140? No? Okay. All right.
Wait, I didn't think that was Bo's problem.
Throw it 12 yards. Just throw it really accurate.
That's right. Tyreek's really good with the ball in space.
Oh, yeah.
That's all he needs to do.
In terms of talking about Bo Nix's problems, Soaring Eagle, Denver Donkeys, we got a handful of great Denver Bronco fans. There are so many on our social media that I'm making little notes of. Just, I don't know, just sometime Sunday after the dust is settled, just go back and go, how you feel now, bruh? I'm just going to copy that and paste it as you're talking a lot right now, and I'm not so sure that that's the smartest thing I've ever seen you do.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of confidence
Oh, yeah.
for going to Buffalo.
Oh, yeah. They think they're going to go into Buffalo. We beat them last year. They turned it over 4 times, and you beat them by 2 points. And that wasn't the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Good luck on you. Good for you. I wish I had that kind of confidence in my team. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
When it comes to making fantasy picks on your favorite players, you want excitement, but you also want a platform you can trust. Better Picks is available in over 30 states, so if you're hearing this, it's probably available for you.
Better Picks is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Just pick more or less on your favorite player stats and put your skills to the test.
With Better Picks, you get the thrill of playing for up to 1,000 times your cash. So go ahead, make your picks and play for big wins with super fast payouts and withdrawals.
Go to betterpicks.com, BETRpicks.com, or download Better on the app or Play Store. And use promo code RADIO to play for up to 1,000 times your cash. Plus, new users get up to a $200 match on their first deposit. And join thousands playing across the U.S.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the tailgate.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
In 2025,
it's going to be a great year.
Make spending great again.
So I can buy a dozen eggs without dipping into my 401k?
With $1,000 in your hand.
$1,000.
9 chances to win every weekday.
It's so easy.
On ESPN Asheville.
New year, new career? NC Department of Adult Correction is hiring correctional officers with a $10,000 sign-on bonus, paid vacation, and benefits. Visit dac.nc.gov/co jobs.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. You can follow us on the social medias at The Sportsocracy. Power Rankings Tuesday here. We'll get into the Power Rankings here coming up in the next hour of the program. We have a super chat to get to, I'm told.
2 of them.
2 of them. People spending money today. I like it.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Both from Eamon Report. First one, Tyreek Hill to Denver or the Chargers would be the ultimate falafel you to the Kansas City Chiefs. I agree, which is why I kind of started to agree. The more I started to think about it, yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yeah, Denver and the LA would make a lot of sense. Where I can go out there and just bust your chops.
Mm-hmm.
And then one more.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Also from Eamon, he said, realistic spot for Tyreek Hill is where most egos go tonight, the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I could see that one too. Tyreek Hill and CeeDee Lamb, whew, I feel like that just writes itself.
You talk about trying to make the money work.
You both can't make it. You both can't make every catch.
Right.
But Dallas is an interesting spot just solely because, well, I mean, Jerry wants one winner while he's still of this here earth.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after making his acting debut in The Landman.
Well, I mean, it wasn't his debut. I mean, he's made appearances in other television shows.
He was in a few others.
Yeah, he's been in a few things throughout the years. I remember he was on an episode of Coach when I was a kid.
That was such a great show.
It was a great show. I loved it. And then you can find it. I found it the other day. I think it's on Prime. You can stream all the old seasons of
even though
Minnesota Screaming Eagles.
I don't know who the football director was on that show. You should learn more football because you got so much of that wrong. And even I at 8 knew that's not how that works.
So have you seen the new show Landman on Paramount? It's phenomenal.
It's the best show on television. It's not close.
It is. It's another Taylor Sheridan production.
I do love that Taylor Sheridan goes into production meetings like, okay, all right, so we have to cast 7 women in this show. Every one of them has to be more attractive than the last. That's my only requirement. I don't care if they can act or not. It doesn't matter. Some of them can.
When you write the hottest television shows out there, you get to pick whoever you want to be in your shows, and that probably has a lot to do with the fact that he's made this show Landman, which if you don't know about it, it stars Billy Bob Thornton, and
is awesome.
He's great. Allie Larder's in it. Varsity Blues fans, bikini, yeah, she's in it, and hotter now than she was
I was
then.
about to say, she's the least attractive woman in this show, which should tell you a lot.
And it's all about the oil business. And there's a scene in there where the oil tycoon that Billy Bob works for,
Monty, played by John Hamm.
Right. He has a heart attack and he winds up in the hospital. And there's a scene in the latest episode where Billy Bob Thornton's character comes in, the guy's in the hospital bed, and there's a guy talking to him. And then it doesn't take long for you to figure out, that's Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, who's playing himself and is talking to Monty about his life choices. He's telling him, look.
No, I got the transcript.
Oh, read it.
I can tell you exactly what he
it is
said.
a great speech.
Now, I'm not saying I've done anything right, but I made my mind up a long time ago. I was going to work with my kids, and they're involved in everything. They're involved in my leasing, oil and gas, real estate. And so when I got the Cowboys, I got it so that we could all work together. I thought I was doing it for them, but the one that got the most out of it was me.
And right at that moment where he gets to, we all got to work together, his voice really starts to quiver.
I thought first I thought he was so much better of an actor than I could have ever imagined.
Tears start welling up in the old man's eyes. And he goes, I thought that I was doing it for them. And then he pauses. And you can see the tears welling up in his eyes. It's one of the greatest acting performances you've ever seen in your life from the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, as he goes on to say that the one that got the most out of it was me. And then there's like a little whimper after that. And it's not that Jerry Jones is the greatest actor on the planet, folks.
No, he was playing himself. It's really not hard to act when the role you're playing is you.
Mm-hmm.
The speech is really long because Jerry talks for about a minute and a half solid.
Yes.
And about 30 seconds into it, I went, damn, go Jerry. Then I got a minute into it, and I went, oh, my God, he's becoming a real boy right in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is Pinocchio. This is the end of Pinocchio all over again.
You're right.
And at the end of it, I couldn't stop just going, that's the most human I think I've ever seen Jerry Jones.
Yes. It was a genuine performance from an old man who has lived this life. And he was, I took it as he was talking to himself. That's what made it pay off, was that he was projecting onto John Hamm all of the things that he missed in life. And that last statement of, I got this for us so that we could all do this together, and I got the most out of it. It was a beautiful moment that was captured by Taylor Sheridan. But it was also the downfall of my hopes that the Dallas Cowboys will be able to change while Jerry Jones is still around.
They're not going to. That was basically
it's
Jerry
not
Jones.
Happen. Yeah.
Now, this is my conspiracy theory. Taylor Sheridan has made a boatload of money being the country cowboy rancher guy.
Yes.
Which leads me to believe he has probably been around the Dallas Cowboys a good bit.
Mm-hmm.
Which also leads me to believe he probably at some point befriended Jerry Jones. I don't know if Taylor brought this up to Jerry or if Jerry brought it up to Taylor. And to be honest with you, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. I believe those two conspired to, I want to give you the chance, because it's a great cameo and it makes total sense to the show.
Yes.
I think it is either Taylor Sheridan wrote this whole season for that moment, which I do not believe.
Right.
Or Jerry floated this and said, if you ever find a way to use me in one of your shows, I want to get this out. And I don't want to do it on a radio show. I want to do it as organically as humanly possible in a show that the average person would watch, that will make me look like I'm not a cyborg. And it worked.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't agree. I don't believe Jerry had anything to do with this other than being friends with Taylor Sheridan. Taylor Sheridan is brilliant. He is one of the most brilliant writers in Hollywood right now. I love every show that he's ever done. It was an opportunity. Like, he seized on an opportunity, because there's no doubt that with the popularity of Yellowstone and all of the Dallas Cowboy references that have been made in all of Taylor Sheridan's shows, that he knows Jerry. Right, or at least he's put himself into a position where they're friendly now. I would be willing to bet there are a ton of Cowboy games that Taylor Sheridan has been
I'm sure.
in the owner's box. And so when he's writing this moment, he thought, who could I get? Who's the guy that I could get?
Yeah, here's the problem with that. You can't. That part was so integral to the storyline. Either he completely rewrote it when Jerry agreed to it, or he wrote the storyline with Jerry in mind, which is what I think happened.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Because there's nobody else to do it.
That's what I'm saying. Jerry didn't have anything to do with it. Taylor wrote it saying, I need to get Jerry to do this.
I don't
and
think
Jerry
you listened to what I
probably
just
agreed
said.
to it.
I think this was agreed to between the two of them, and he melded that storyline to that.
No,
I'm
that's
going
possible.
full conspiracy there because there's nobody
possible.
else in the show that could do it. Amy and I talked about this last night for longer than you would believe. We probably talked about this longer than we talked about the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I was a writer at one time. It's been a billion years ago. But I cannot imagine you would have painted yourself into that corner because you needed an out. And I don't think it was just, hey, let me call my old buddy Jerry. I think this has been talked about for a while.
Sure.
He said, I would really like a chance to have that heartwarming family moment, and this just so happened to be the opportunity.
Well, I bet you it was one of those. It was one of those. Hey, I love your shows. You ever need anything, you let me know. And he's like, would you ever come on the show? Yeah. All right, I'll write you a part.
All right, let me. All right, and now
it was so beautifully written that it hit to the core.
And you
know Jerry
you'll
read
never
it.
know which one of us is right.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: have you ever seen a person in the history of fictional, whether it's movies, television shows, anything, have you ever seen a person that was that raw of their own story on film? In a fiction-based story? Because I haven't. And I've racked my brain on this for almost a full day.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, but you're probably right.
Yeah, because fiction doesn't write itself that way.
Mm.
It doesn't work that way. That's so organic that either you're the luckiest dude on the planet Earth that fell in your lap, or this was conspired long ago. Right. And I'll be honest with you, we all talk about how Jerry's an idiot football-wise. He's really not. I mean, in terms of as a guy, this is not a stupid guy. He knows. I have a power that nobody else has. Bob Kraft could not do that. He could have done it in, no, he couldn't do it there either. I was going to say in The Sopranos, but that was the Jets. That's Rex Ryan and Eric Mangini were in that job.
That wouldn't happen. He'd have been on, like, Rescue Me, that fireman
like that.
show.
Jerry has a power that very few others do. And you can call me a conspiracy theorist, say I'm reading too much into this. I don't think I am. I think that was Jerry saying, I hear you. I hear all of you that want me to hire a GM. You want me to fire Mike McCarthy. You want me to do all these things. I hear you. I've already got rings. I want to win a ring my way, or I don't want to win one at all.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how that came off to me. I felt like he was talking to Cowboy fans. And maybe I'm being conspiracy theorist, but I don't think I am.
Okay, it's quite possible.
And that's said from one man that doesn't show emotion very well about another man that doesn't show emotion very well.
Yeah, the one thing I think that is that we can all take away factually, without any conspiracy theories, is that moment in that show described to everyone, not just to Cowboys fans, but to everyone, what a man is willing to die for. And Jerry Jones has his thing. Yes, it's his family, but the Dallas Cowboys are his family now.
It's a family affair to him.
It is
and
the
it's
family.
always going to be that way.
Yeah.
With Jerry.
Yeah. And it'll be that way afterward, because if that's how he feels about it, I believe that's how the children have to feel about it. The family realizes that this is our family business.
Oh, not necessarily.
You don't think so?
Not necessarily.
You don't think everybody's on board with this family business?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure they love working with Dad. That doesn't mean they love working together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a very, very well put together moment, and the reason that it played so well was because Jerry was being honest.
And it was fantastic. We have some firings. We have some interviews. We got a lot of teams to talk about. We'll do that in like a handful of minutes.
Coming up next, right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold weather will continue for the rest of the week, and low pressure coming out of the south and coming north-northeast may try to clip us here with a little bit of snow Friday and Friday night. Sunshine this afternoon, at least more than we had earlier, 35 with a breeze around. Tonight, 15 and mainly clear. Some areas in our colder nooks and crannies will be colder. Wednesday, 35 and sunny. Thursday, near freezing and sunny. Clouds thickening up and maybe a little snow by Friday afternoon. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We are here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4 VICTIMS.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
This is Carolina basketball.
Flips it to R.J. Davis. Pump fake for three. Now he'll take it. Count it. Left corner to Trimble. Jab step. Drive. Foul. And the bucket.
On the Tar Heels Sports Network.
Drives left against Taylor. He's fouled again. I don't know how, but he got the bucket. Bonds with Trimble going down the center of the lane.
This is your radio home for the Tar Heels.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Just visit ingalls-markets.com. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. And, okay, so this one came from way outside for me yesterday. I was not expecting to hear the report that the Chicago Bears were asking for permission to interview Mike McCarthy of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad move. Right? It's for the Chicago Bears, I think that'd probably be the best coach you've had since Mike Ditka. So,
oh, what, you didn't like Matt Nagy? No, the Jets liked him enough to interview him.
I mean, he's automatically he's automatically number 2 on that list since Ditka for me. I'd put him over Lovie Smith. But I mean, were you shocked by that? Were you surprised? Because you don't normally see this.
No, I'd heard that this was a possibility. Not with Chicago directly, but that there would be teams that would be interested. Look, Mike McCarthy is still viewed very positively, and you got to understand, this group of coaching candidates is not good. wish you the best of luck. Because there's not a lot. I mean, there's a Ben Johnson that I feel real good about.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a whole lot of that could maybe be okay if it's not terrible, but it could also be terrible.
Mm-hmm. It very well could be. There is a what if about all of the candidates, from Joe Brady to Rex Ryan to Giro Overo. No, they already announced that he was coming back to Carolina. How did he get off of that wheel? How did he get out of? How did he fall out of grace that he's not getting interviews?
Giro Overo. Well, I mean, it helps when your defense finishes 31st.
Yeah, but it's been that way, right? His defense has been that way for like 3 years.
Yeah, and you can hide it once, and then the third time it's like,
so we finally caught on.
What we're doing.
We finally caught on to maybe he shouldn't be there. But for Mike McCarthy, I think this might be the best solution for everybody. Mike McCarthy needs to go to Chicago and fall in love. For his own sake, and for the Dallas Cowboys' sake, and for the Chicago Bears' sake. I don't see how anybody loses in this scenario. Let's do a deal right now.
Well, I mean, but then the question is, who becomes the coach of the Cowboys?
Deion Sanders.
Kellen Moore. Come on down.
You could go the Kellen Moore route.
I would say nothing comes of it. Dallas has not responded as of the last I heard.
Mm-hmm.
I would say they'll probably say no.
I just find it really weird that this story comes out like right after the report came out that there were teams that wanted to trade for Kevin O'Connell. You just don't normally hear either of these things happening, and the fact that they happened within a day of each other is wild to me.
Oh, that shouldn't be wild. Usually, there's enough coaching candidates that we don't have to do these things. I'll go ahead and tell you, that won't be the last two. There will be another team that conspires at some point to steal somebody from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
This is the worst coaching market I've ever seen. Speaking of the worst, did you see the start of the Monday Night Raw era on Netflix last night?
No.
I didn't watch much.
But you did.
But I did flip it over there because I was curious.
Okay.
I wanted to see if it was different. And it was different, but maybe not in the goodest way. The commercial breaks are intense.
Okay.
I'm talking 4 full-minute commercial breaks. I figured on Netflix those would get shorter.
Yeah.
They actually got longer.
Well, you have to set up, right? You have to set the next thing up. Whatever they're going to do.
You don't. You really don't. If you're Netflix, you have so many people watching. And look, I know this directly because I sell our advertising on this show. If it's worth more, do less. That doesn't mean get greedy and do more, because it's actually going to end up hurting you in the long run.
Well, no, I was talking about the product. I was talking about whatever's coming up next. You use that. They like it, probably. They like that little extra time to set up the next spot.
They can stage all their other I don't care. There was also a very weird thing where Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson showed up, but not as The Rock. He was Dwayne Johnson trying to break kayfabe, and it was really odd. And then Hulk Hogan showed up and got booed mercilessly. And it was every bit of it just felt clunky. It felt like they were trying to throw everything at the wall to see what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And what they discovered was not only did it not stick, it all just came off as kind of clunky.
Like you're trying too hard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
Weird.
I am not a wrestling fan. I show up for WrestleMania because WrestleMania is cool. SummerSlam, a handful of other events.
Right.
I don't half the time even know who these people are. But you could have had me for just a little bit yesterday because it was cool seeing the endorsements on the ring, and it looks different. And the look of it's great. It's the execution. And I guess that's where I'm at with Netflix and all of these streaming things. And I know I use this phrase a lot, but it's true. It's really not that hard. You have a gigantic audience. Unlike anything else. Way more people have Netflix than have cable.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the ability to do great things here. You just have to not screw it up. And I would say the same thing to Red Zone. Did you watch Red Zone the last handful of weeks?
Yeah.
Did you notice something changed?
Like the outline changed, didn't it? Like the frame.
What does Chris Hansen say when we kick off?
Oh, I don't know.
7 hours.
Yeah, of commercial-free football.
Not anymore. Now it's 7 hours of Red Zone football because there are commercials.
Ah, I didn't even notice. I hadn't even noticed.
Do that. Don't do that. I'm just trust me. Don't do that. It will not go the way you want it to go.
What, to start selling ads?
They've sold ads,
right,
but they were on the outside. Now they're running actual honest-to-God commercials.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those little cliffs that you go down, and you'll start pushing people away from you. That's what I always liked about Red Zone. There's no commercials. It's just football. Wingstop, there's no telling how many times I've ordered Wingstop because I saw it on Red Zone and went, hey, you know what? I know how this works. Call Wingstop, get us a whole mess of wings, and I'm going to put them in yon wing hole.
Mm-hmm.
Seen me do it.
Mm-hmm.
You start running. What is that? What's that really annoying girl in the Is it Aflac?
Progressive.
Progressive. Oh
yeah.
my God.
And start running flow commercials.
Her face makes me angry.
Yeah, I don't like.
Her face makes me angry.
Mm-mm.
Just I need you to stop with all of that. And that little weird dude. Oh, I just want to smack him.
All the insurance commercials can go
No,
somewhere else.
I'm okay. I don't like the wax guy. You know, the guy who he gets
Stupid.
the wax statue
Stop
and it
it.
melts. Stop that.
Liberty Mutual, fire everybody in your ad campaign market.
Give me Limu or give me nothing. All right? Me and Limu can hang out.
Right. Stop trying to do these other characters. Yeah. You do the bird pretty well. Let's leave it at the bird and the guy.
Give me the flightless bird. I even like the commercial where he runs away from home and his like adopted dad goes, "You're just a flightless bird." I'm okay with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that weird wax guy.
Yeah.
His face also bothers me.
Well, I mean, if you're going to start selling commercials, though, stop charging me extra. Right? If you're going to start making ad revenue off of this, then I don't want to have to pay a premium price for it anymore.
Stephen Tao said, but look at you talking about all these commercials. They succeeded. Yeah, except for the fact I couldn't remember what company it was. Yeah, you're right. I do remember the commercial.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who bought it.
Precisely.
That is the definition
it's one of the,
not great.
Right. That was one. We had an entire course when I was in college on the on commercials and whether or not a crazy message was the right thing for your business. And the one that was always the example that was always used for that was the cat herding commercial. You remember the Cowboys in there? It wasn't the football team, but there was a commercial during the Super Bowl back in the late '90s. It was a whole bunch of cowboys, and they were herding cats. And it was one of the funniest commercials you'll ever see. No one remembers what business that was. It was the one time that they did advertising, and then nothing.
Can I tell you a dirty little secret about me?
Yeah.
Since the advent of the internet, I've never watched the Super Bowl commercial live.
Which is dumb.
Because that's when I go to the bathroom or I'm talking. Usually we're out in public doing an event or something.
Right.
I don't care about your commercial. Now I'll go back and watch them the next day, but I don't watch them live.
Right. But that's one of the prime examples of you did a little too much with that commercial.
Yeah.
Because you overshadowed the message. It's hard
we have a super chat.
All right, super chats.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
It's from Soaring Eagle. Did you happen to see the awkward moment between Shad Khan and Trent Baalke yesterday?
What happened?
So they were on a Zoom call with the media, and somebody asked Shad Khan, could the next head coach convince you to fire Trent Baalke? Shad Khan's answer was something to the effect of, well, I mean, if the argument was convincing enough, then yes, I would consider moving on from Trent Baalke. The only problem, Trent Baalke was in the box next to him on the Zoom call. It was the most awkward thing I've ever seen. He literally looked like a guy at the DMV whose number was like 287, and they were on 14, just going, I wish I was anywhere else right now. Just, this is not good. I don't like this. Ben Johnson, please don't come interview here because I know that's who you're talking about.
How does Trent Baalke go on? Is my question. Like why? If it were me, maybe I'd just walk away at this point because this is going to end badly.
Billy the Kid go on?
Right.
How do the great bandits of our life go on? When you rob this much money from people, how do you stare them in the face every day?
He sits there because, I played one of the sound bites this morning in my sports report on 570. Like, the fact that the question is so unabashedly out there, right? The reporter says to Trent Baalke, "Are you surprised you're still the GM of this team?" And his response was, I don't know that surprised is the right word, but, I respect the decision that's been made, and I don't take it lightly. And my response to that was, you suck at this, right? And everybody else knows you suck at this, but for some reason, that dude with the fake mustache over there, he
does not get it.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't know that you suck at this, and you're stealing his money right in front of us, and we're all like,
I'm ready for the day that the teams start allowing podcasters and people like us into the media room, right. Because I would be the first one to go, Trent, quick question. Why do you suck at your job so much? Why do you not do your job gooder? I'll take your answer. I'm going to sit down?
Yeah.
You answer that.
Yeah.
We have one more super chat before we go into the commercial break.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Generations asked, am I crazy that I would take Joe Milton over Tua Tagovailoa?
Yes.
Now, all right, you said that. You answered that way too quick. If we're talking full package, I would take Tank Spencer over Tua Tagovailoa because there is a better chance that I would pay him $5 to be the quarterback of my NFL football team than that I would pay Tua $50 million to be the quarterback of my NFL football team. So in that regard, no. However, I'm seeing a lot of people, and it's a lot of New England Patriot Twitter that are losing their mind over Joe Milton was so good. You understand that Buffalo played none of their starting defensive linemen, right? Except for Von Miller, who had to get a sack to hit some escalator, and he got it in 4 plays. I would be very wary of Joe Milton, and that's coming from a guy that spent a week with him in Mobile. I watched this guy throw. My father fell in love with his arm because he's got a rope. The only problem is it could land over here, or it could land over there, or it might go out of the stadium. He might throw it behind him. You just really never know. There is talent there, yes, and do I think a team is going to call on Joe Milton? Yes, I do. That's how bad the quarterback market is. I won't be shocked if he will not be the unabridged starter. He may be him against a veteran on another team. I will not be shocked if New England parlays him into a draft pick this offseason.
Yes, Joe Milton over Tua Tagovailoa, to me, is crazy talk, and you need to have your head examined. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Kevin Hart here for DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Watching Clorox cleanup spray dissolve tough grime in the shower feels like...
Wait,
This really just happened? I'm shocked. Underwear and everything?
It feels like being able to zip up your overpacked suitcase on the first try.
Smooth.
With Clorox, clean feels satisfying. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes, like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Nominate your community hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold weather will continue for the rest of the week, and low pressure coming out of the south and coming north-northeast may try to clip us here with a little bit of snow Friday and Friday night. Sunshine this afternoon, at least more than we had earlier, 35 with a breeze around. Tonight, 15 and mainly clear. Some areas in our colder nooks and crannies will be colder. Wednesday, 35 and sunny. Thursday, near freezing and sunny. Clouds thickening up and maybe a little snow by Friday afternoon. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
Hurry in now to Apple Tree Superstore for deals on the full lineup of 2024 Hondas, including the CR-V, the HR-V, and Civic. Apple Tree Superstore is committed to offering you professional service and a great experience. Shop online at appletreesuperstore.com and in person, I-26 and Airport Road, Asheville.
We're getting our praise on every Sunday morning from 6 to 10 a.m. The best artists in gospel music are right here on Throwbacks 101.1. Presented by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings.
Did you apply for FEMA help after the tropical storm Helene and want to know the status of your application or how to appeal an eligibility decision? It's easy to reach FEMA. Call 800-621-FEMA. Does FEMA have your current contact information? If you are not sure, call 800-621-3362 because FEMA may need more information to help you. For in-person help, you can find the Disaster Recovery Center near you at fema.gov/DRC.
As we recover as a community, it's important to help each other. Hummingbird Insurance, as always, is offering free assistance to help you navigate your health insurance options for this year. Headquartered in Asheville, Hummingbird is one of the top-rated insurance agencies in the country. Schedule a free consultation to compare plans across multiple insurance carriers. The enrollment deadline is January 15th. We make it easier than hauling water. Visit healthcaresucks.com. That's healthcaresucks.com.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingles Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat.
It's colder than the Chicago Bears outside.
Yes.
Throwing that out there.
It is. It is very chilly outside.
Apparently it's supposed to be like a snow thing this weekend.
Yeah, we got 4 inches of snow coming on Saturday morning.
Why do I live in a place where it snows ever? I hate snow. I hate it.
Jeremy hates fun. This is not news to anybody.
I hate snow. It's a stupid thing we do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, it's snowing outside. Yes, this slick material is falling from the sky that makes it impossible for anybody to accomplish anything.
Except for snowball fights and sledding. And you know what? You're never too old for
When
that
was
stuff.
the last time you did either one of those things?
Snowball fight was, last time it snowed.
Which was like 11 years ago.
It wasn't that long ago. Sledding was about 4 years ago. I think it was 2020, maybe 2021.
I live by the Rodney Carrington rule of let's go outside and push each other. I can't. I'll have to tie you behind the truck. By the way, you want to go sledding? I'll put you behind that Parks Ford Mobile Studio.
Oh.
We'll have some real fun.
Ooh, that
I mean,
would
I
be
will.
fun.
It will not be great for you.
If it wouldn't tear up the field so bad, maybe we should. That'd be fun.
That'd
make a fun video.
Oh, for sure. It would be a lot of fun for me.
One of those. I got 2 of those plastic little sled things. That could be a good video.
Yeah, Tank, let me give you a solid piece of advice. If you hear me yell slingshot engage from the cab of the truck, let go.
I'm going.
It'll hurt less that way.
You're gonna try to slingshot me under the tires.
I might slingshot you over the tower.
Anyway, yeah. If you live in the Asheville area, Western North Carolina, we're gonna get snow this weekend. It's gonna be fun.
I got a guy
for everybody
one time,
but Jeremy.
I got a guy one time water skiing. He hooked up with my ex-girlfriend. Didn't think I knew about it. Whew. He was behind that boat. We hit a wave. Literally, he went so high in the sky that he blocked out the sun, and I went, that's going to hurt so bad. And I still laugh about it. That was no less than 15 years ago.
It is a
Power Rankings Tuesday.
That's right, and it is time for us to talk about all of the playoff teams. We'll rank them 14 to 1. I think we do have a super chat to get to before we start the rankings, though. So let's do that. Red Sea with a super chat.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Red Sea, still my favorite quote from the 2024 Draftmas season. Joe Milton couldn't hit the broadside of the Pacific Ocean consistently. One, Mullet King, Jeremy Green.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, all of you that sent me memes that said, all hail the Mullet King, good for you. After about the 6th one, I went, I might have a thing here.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting ready to cut all of my hair off. And then I said another stupid thing, and it may live to fight another day.
Oh, dear. The mullet may be here to stick around.
Every time I do, I find a new way for me to enjoy it, and it needs to be less, though.
A little hot?
That nonsense is packed into this hat tighter than any of you packed your Christmas tree under the stairs. And most of you are just throwing ornaments in there like, no, screw it. We'll deal with it in November.
Right.
That'll be November's problem. I could be dead by then.
All right, Wild Card Weekend is coming up this weekend. We have a couple of games on Saturday, and then 4 games on Sunday? Or is there a Monday night game this week?
There's a Monday night game.
There is a Monday night game this
week. So you got 2
week.
Saturday,
2, 3,
3
1.
Sunday, 1 Monday.
Yes.
Which I'm totally fine with that. I'm fine with that. This week we have football Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Let's go.
That's right, because we got the Cotton Bowl and the
nope, said it wrong.
and the other one.
Said it wrong, and I'm sick, so I should be even better. I should be able to do it better this time. The Cotton Bowl.
Yes, the Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl. Thursday and Friday. I'd forgotten about
Pat
that.
Summerall never did the Orange Bowl. So.
Right. Georgia's out of it, so the college football's over. It doesn't matter anymore.
No,
Nobody
it's
cares
actually a
who
lot
wins.
more fun for me. Because I'm looking around going, it could be Notre Dame, it could be Texas, it could be Penn State. I've never seen any of those teams win a national title except one from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The only bad one is the favorite, and that's Ohio State. So, yay. 2025, you're already off to a rousing start.
Yes. So Wild Card Weekend this weekend, we have 14 teams that have made the playoffs, and it's time to power rank them. So starting from the bottom now, we're here. The number 14 team in the 14-team playoff is
the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's
If
hard
the
to
season
argue.
was 2 weeks longer, you wouldn't be in this.
No doubt.
And I do love all the Steeler fans that are going, it was George Pickens' fault, not Russell Wilson. Okay. I don't really care what order you rank them in, but Russell Wilson has shown himself. That's who he is.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason that Denver paid the most money any team's ever played in NFL history to get him to go away. You have to be some kind of awful for a team to go, we will give you $80 million to just go the hell away right now. Just out that door. I don't care where you go. You go to any 31 teams. We do not care. You just have to get out of here before we kill you.
It is quite reminiscent of that year that they went 11-0 and then lost every game from there on out. It's quite striking how this all looked like it was a great idea until you started, routinely playing the playoff teams. The end of the season, you caught the Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, and Bengals, and I mean, a couple of those games were competitive, but you're just not that good.
I go back to the Cat Williams line. Yes, a Chrysler 300 looks like a Phantom until a Phantom drive by. Yes, Russell Wilson looks like an NFL quarterback against not NFL quarterbacks. Then he has to go up against Joe Burrow, and you go, oh, no, there's no comparison here. I fully believe Baltimore is going to wax them. If it wasn't a division game, I'd bet my house on it. If they were playing the Buffalo Bills, I would take Buffalo minus 17.5 right now against Pittsburgh.
Sure.
Because they will beat you until they get tired of beating you.
The only reason that I feel like they have a chance to win in the first round of the playoffs is because they're playing the Baltimore Ravens. It's not just because Baltimore has a history of, not necessarily showing up 100% in the playoffs. It's because this game always matters more. Now it matters 4 times as much.
Yeah, because it's the playoffs.
Right, exactly. So there's a chance that this turns into some kind of grossness, that Pittsburgh comes up with a couple of big defensive stops, big defensive turnovers or something like that. Everything turns, and then they win a 21-18 ball game or something.
A list that I'm going to use a lot through the power rankings today. It was done by Dan Graziano. You can find it on the website, ESPN.com.
Okay.
It's debunking 14 myths for 14 playoff teams.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the one for the Pittsburgh Steelers is?
Yeah, Russell Wilson's good at football.
No, it has nothing to do with Russell Wilson.
What?
That Pittsburgh has an elite defense. Yeah, they don't. I've been trying to tell you that all season long. They have one elite pass rusher. They have another couple of pieces. Let me give you a couple little stats, because stats don't care about your feelings. And this is directly from that article. Defense is fine. 7th in defensive efficiency, 7th in defensive EPA. 17th in sacks, 18th in sacks per opponent dropback. 7 teams in the NFL allowed more passing yards per game than the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're not going to hang your hat on that defense. Sorry, it's just not as good as you think it is.
Well,
It hasn't been. The corners are awful.
Mm-hmm. But they have been able to get after quarterbacks, and they have been able to turn you over. And that's a big part of their early season success as well.
Yeah, it's easy to turn over bad teams. It's hard to turn over good ones.
Oh, yeah. They just took the ball away willy-nilly, seemed like, at will, early on in the season. The last 5 games, I think they have 2 turnovers. That's it. The 5 games that they've just lost, they couldn't turn over the other team.
Matt has a great question in the YouTube chat. Did the Broncos finally make it into the top 10?
What?
Matt asked, did the Broncos finally make it into the top 10?
Oh.
No, I don't want to. No.
What number's next, Tank?
It's number 13.
The Denver Broncos. Hey, awesome. You smacked around a Kansas City team playing their backups that I'm pretty confident wanted you to win. No, sir. No, I don't buy Denver at all. The defense is good. I don't buy Bo Nix. I just don't. And now you have to play Buffalo in Buffalo. Oh, and by the way, have you looked at the weather? It's cold in Denver.
All right, right. Like, that doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, it does.
Why?
It does.
Why is the cold different there? I mean, you could breathe in New York. You can't do that in Denver. So, I mean, that is a difference.
Well, there's a chance you're going to get that lake effect snow thing because there's going to be a whole mess of moisture in the air because there's a snowstorm coming down here. Well, there are often times that you see moisture break off and that lake effect thing happen up there. I don't care if it's 65 degrees and sunny. They're going to hurt your feelings because Patrick Surtain can only defend one of them. They'll kill you. I mean, I hate to break it to you. They're going to kill you. And if you really break it down, look, I get it. Denver's been a great story. They're here. What exactly have you done that I'm supposed to be impressed by? I mean, I'm asking that question honestly.
Bo Nix is completing a high percentage of his passes.
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
What does that mean? Bo Nix is completing a high percentage of his passes. What exactly does that mean?
That means they can move the ball.
It means they're not taking shots deep. No quarterback in NFL history. You know who the most accurate quarterback in NFL history is? I know this off the top of my head because he played for my team. It's Chad Pennington. You know what he never did? Took shots deep. It was real hard to win that way. Your defense had to be insanely good, and you had to be able to really run the football. I don't think you have either one of those. The defense is good, not great. The fact Vance Joseph is getting head coaching interviews is comical to me because the other side of that defense has been picked on routinely. I don't understand why people aren't seeing this. Be happy about the fact you made the playoffs, but the amount of hubris I'm seeing from Denver fans having to go into Buffalo, and if I hear one more person say, well, we beat them last year, yeah, what's your point? What does that have to do with the price of eggs in China?
Right.
Nothing.
Doesn't have
Literally
anything.
Nothing.
It doesn't have anything to do with this game. And in fact, probably gives them more of a reason to step it up against you since you did beat them last year.
I'm not saying Denver's bad.
No.
I'm saying you slid into a 7 spot with 3 teams in the AFC that are clearly better than everybody else.
You ended up what was the word Robert Kraft used yesterday? An untenable situation. You ended up getting the last seed in the playoffs, and sorry, you have to go be the sacrificial lamb to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
See, and this is why I love rational fans. Matt just said this in our YouTube chat. I'm pretty sure he's a Buffalo fan. I think. We have a few Matts. I think this one's a Broncos fan. Wide receivers are developing. We do more with less than any other team in the NFL. I'm super happy for our future. I also have zero expectation to beat Buffalo.
You shouldn't.
There's nothing wrong with what you just said.
No.
And to be honest with you, I kind of agree with everything you just said. I would not say you do more with less than anybody, but there is a team still coming that I would venture a guess that you two are very close in that doing more with less. I think their quarterback's better than yours. You were probably better at practically every other position than them.
You are a fan of a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in 9 damn years. Be super stoked that you're there.
Our program director, Zach, was drinking like orange vodka or something.
He was.
I get it. Be super happy.
Right.
Just don't be like – what I'm afraid of is that this is going to go the way that in my head this goes, which is the Bills come out with something along the lines 34-13. And then every Bronco fan, it goes from super high to super low. Or, and this is, to me, just as terrifying, they go from super high to they stay super high, and next year's our year. Check that schedule, because you can win games in this league with a mediocre quarterback. I don't care how you slice it. I don't care what metric you look at. There is nothing about Bo Nix that screams elite quarterback. I live by a simple mantra. You either have an elite quarterback or you don't have one. Period. because I would rather have Drew Lock that I'm not counting squat into than have Bo Nix, because I know I'm going to have to pay that guy, because the fan base gets so excited about him that I can't move on from him. And if you don't believe me, look at Tua Tagovailoa, any of the other things. There are 20 – I saw it. I saw it at the quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't begrudge you for that, because Matt's not the annoying fan. The one that's calling me an idiot on social media because I'm pointing out the most obvious flaw of your team, that's the one I'm talking about. Because you're going to look bad 2 or 3 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many of you have been listening since the day we started this. Tank, if we were looking at a scoreboard of quarterbacks that Jeremy has been super wrong on, how many more dubs are there than L's?
Yeah, there's a bunch.
6 times?
Yeah, easy.
I mean, you can count on one hand the number of quarterbacks I've ever been super wrong on.
Yeah.
And that's even with me seeding Baker Mayfield to you, which I'm not going to lie to you, I still don't want to.
But that's where Bo Nix lives.
For sure.
Bo Nix lives in that Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, that, old Matt Ryan, before Matt won an MVP and all of that. Like, that's just the area that you kind of Eli Manning, we can throw him in there too.
Now,
we're good.
Eli's the high side of that because he got lucky twice and had an unbelievable defense.
See, but that's what I'm saying.
That is possible to build. It's just every single time we move the CBA in any way, we're trying to make it harder for you to do that.
Yes.
Because it's so hard to keep those pieces around.
Would I be shocked, supremely shocked, to see a quarterback like Bo Nix win if he's got an elite defense behind him, like Bo Nix leading that 2015 championship team? I could see that. At that point, Peyton Manning was not great, right? They carried him to a Super Bowl. You could possibly see that happen. I never want to shut the door on anybody.
Oh, I do.
I know you do. I know you love shutting the door on people.
Well, and I'll use the example that Matt just gave of look at the development. And he used Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes as the example. Do you know what the difference is between those two? They were 4 full years younger than Bo Nix. That seems to just go out of people's heads. Bo Nix he is what he is.
Mm-hmm.
This is not getting markedly better. Kenny Pickett was the same guy. Not that he was that good. My problem is that you're not going to get any better. I'd rather take the lottery pick of, all right, I can't believe I'm about to say what I'm going to say out loud, but I am. I would rather take a shot on a Shedeur Sanders in the top 5, knowing damn well that I do not believe he is an elite quarterback prospect at all. He has elite traits. Bo Nix has no elite traits. None. He does everything fine.
Mm-hmm.
You can build a team that way. It takes everything to be fit just into this tiny little puzzle. And this weekend's a great example of it. Josh Allen could come out here and be hungover, probably still blow a .14, throw 3 interceptions. You could tell me that right now. I'll still take Buffalo. Because his margin of error is so much higher. Because all I need is like 5 elite plays out of Josh Allen, and I know I'm going to get them.
Mm-hmm.
I need 10 out of Bo. Because you don't have that kind of talent. That kind of talent's not going to want to play with Bo Nix. That elite free agent receiver, he's not coming to you. The Tyreek Hill, you're going to have to trade him there, which means you're going to have to pay the highest of high prices. That's the reason I don't like guys like this. Baker Mayfield, the example everybody uses against me. Look at what he was dropped into. He was dropped into a Super Bowl team for $5 million a year with one of the best receivers that ever lived, one of the best slot receivers in the game. They've done nothing but pour money into the running game because they couldn't run a greasy peg of a cat's keister.
Right.
Well, they figured it out with Bucky Irving.
Mm.
They've drafted about 15 tight ends because they've done everything to just build him up. Do you know how hard it is to find Mike Evans? You know how hard it is to find a Chris Godwin? I get it. You're looking at the Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, Roma Dunze, Marvin Harrison Jr. class that we just had. I got news for you. That ain't this year. That ain't next year. That ain't the year after that. We're already that far down the rabbit hole. You won't see another receiver class like that for at least 2 years. And you better be picking in the top 5 because both those dudes are going in the top 5.
Right.
That's the point. It's not a hatred of Bo Nix. That's what I'm always accused of, and it drives me crazy. It's not a hatred. I don't care. Frankly, I would love to be wrong. I would love for him to be elite. Makes way better content. than for me to sit here for the 500th time and say, told you.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get joy out of that? Sure. Do I know people listening here don't? Absolutely. It's a lot more fun for me when you can go, wow, look, Baker Mayfield's doing it. Yeah, because I can sit back and play the long game. Okay.
Sit back and play the long game on that one.
Sam Darnold. That's the high water mark of my life.
Jackass asked, can Sam Darnold make it to a Super Bowl? He has to know.
Well, it depends how much money's he got in his bank account. I mean, he's got about 10 grand laying around. He has cheap seats.
He's not a quarterback. He's not a Super Bowl quarterback to you.
We'll talk about Sam Darnold when we get to Minnesota. You're going
to
have to wait a little bit on Minnesota.
That kind of felt like a cop-out, but okay.
It's not a cop-out.
We'll get there.
It's not a cop-out. And I'll explain it, and I'll tie it into what I just said. Look, I'm a little sick, and I just got real angry, and I need some hot coffee to bring my voice back, or you're going to be talking to Sling Blade in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we got to take a quick break. We'll let you get some of that coffee in you. We'll be right back here on ESPN Asheville.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Going down in a rinse straight. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed. This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first, before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks Community Heroes, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cott?
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. And look, here's one thing I could tell you, parents. your kids are going back to school tomorrow, so just let's celebrate that fact, okay? We've been locked up with these little dudes or big dudes in my case, for a long time.
I'm dumbfounded by so, all right, you said they're just full off today.
Yeah, my kids were full off today. It was
kind of showed we can do all of these things from home. Why do we still have all? I'm very confused by that. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason that Dr. Jackson could tell me in great.
Well, now see, my kids aren't in the Dr. Jackson system per se. They kind of follow that. They kind of because they're in a charter school.
Oh yeah, they march to the beat of their own drummer.
Right, they do. They're.
I do know
unique.
Buncombe County was in a remote learning day. I got the
they are.
notification of that.
Yes, Buncombe County's in the remote learning day. Asheville City Schools was doing that as well. My kids' school went, you know what, we're just off today, and we'll make it up later. It'll be fine.
I will tell you, Dr. Jackson was a teacher of mine. He is legitimately top 3 smartest people I've ever met in my life. Buncombe County, your children are in fantastic hands, and he did not pay me to say that.
That also may have something to do with the kids in the traditional district schools. They all have like school-issued computers. Our kids don't. So there are probably kids at our school that don't have computers at home, or it's hard to get access.
That's what somebody was screaming at the radio, but I'm too stupid I don't know. Okay.
No, see, I'll make the joke first, then I'll explain it later. You know, it's fine. It is going to be fine. I'm not trying to badmouth my kids' school here. I just thought it was weird that everybody else went, you know, we're going to do remote learning today, and my kids' school went, no, I don't think so. Which went, that's why my kids are in that school. It fits their personalities. No.
Go outside and think about a cloud.
Yeah.
Private school 2025.
Yes.
We do stuff.
All right, we'll continue with the power rankings of the playoff teams. It is wild card weekend coming up. We've got we've done Pittsburgh and Denver. Good job. 30 minutes. We've done 2 teams. Let's try to speed this up. When we come back from the break, here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold weather will continue for the rest of the week, and low pressure coming out of the south and coming northeast may try to clip us here with a little bit of snow Friday and Friday night. Sunshine this afternoon, at least more than we had earlier, 35 with a breeze around. Tonight, 15 and mainly clear. Some areas in our colder nooks and crannies will be colder. Wednesday, 35 and sunny. Thursday, near freezing and sunny. Clouds thickening up and maybe a little snow by Friday afternoon. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by First Restoration Services.
Disasters at home from floods, fires, or storm is a homeowner's worst nightmare. It pays to have a professional on your side, and that's exactly what you get with First Restoration Services. They've built their business off trust, integrity, speed, and quality. Learn more online at FRS247.com.
The music we listen to all year long. The anthems that were our soundtrack for 2024.
They not like us.
And the stars who made the songs we love will all be celebrated.
Let's get it started.
March 17, live from Los Angeles. Coming back to Fox.
Be here as our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Awards nominees are announced Thursday at 9 a.m.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all new tour.
Just don't have. You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Asheville, February 5th, Harris Cherokee Center. Tickets on sale now only at jeffdunham.com.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
This is J.W. Whitley with Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I'm so excited to introduce you to this month's Parks Community Hero, Meals on Wheels. Meals on Wheels, with the help of numerous volunteers, delivers nutritious meals and friendly conversation to homebound seniors. Throughout their meal delivery program, you can help seniors keep their independence. To get involved, visit MOWABC.com. Thank you to Meals on Wheels and congratulations, our Parks Community Hero. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville on a
Power Rankings Tuesday.
Yeah, dig deep for that one. I like it. 14-1. We're ranking all the playoff teams here on Wild Card Week. We've only worked our way up to number 12, which, after the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos, number 12,
the Houston Texans.
Oh man, they've struggled for weeks. We've been saying there's something wrong with C.J. Stroud, and you have one of the toughest matchups that any team has in the wild card round of the playoffs. Because the Los Angeles Chargers, I think they're just flat out better than you.
I do too. And so does Vegas because they're a favorite.
Mm-hmm.
That should tell you everything you need to know. I think Houston has fallen into a you remember that thing I said about Tyreek Hill that a lot of elite contender teams wouldn't welcome him into the locker room?
Yes.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs is on line one. Look at what's happened to Houston this year. And if you think he didn't have a role in that, I got a bridge to sell you.
Mm-hmm. Well, Stephon Diggs, what was a detriment to bringing him in was a detriment to the Texans.
For sure.
What role did he play in that?
He's a free agent going into this year. Look at how much effort Houston puts into re-signing him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet you it's not much.
Mm-hmm. Well, probably even less after he did that commercial. I know you don't watch commercials, but he did I think it's a pizza commercial. Here's another one. I remember the commercial. I just don't remember who it was for. It was Stephon Diggs sitting there eating whatever it was, and the girl sitting beside him says, "Man, they sure do miss you, don't they?" And he goes, "Yeah, look at them."
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
That's bad. You should have done that. Look, C.J. Stroud has fallen into a lot of the things that I saw in him coming out. Which is he does not digest the information the way that you would want to. Now, here's where I don't know. I can't pinpoint where to put C.J. Stroud. The rookie year, Bobby Slowick steered this offense in exactly what he could do. He gave him more of the playbook this year. It's super obvious. Bobby Slowick did not change. I know a lot of your opinions on him changed. He didn't change. C.J. Stroud changed because he got more of the playbook, and he has not been able to do it. It's too much. And when you say that, people just immediately think you're saying a guy's stupid.
Right.
I'm not saying he's stupid. I'm saying this is not what he's done his entire life. That is why I care so much about the offense that you play in, because it shows me what you can digest. Those pick-and-pop air raid guys are virtually impossible. That's why everybody missed on Pat Mahomes. I never saw you do it. I don't know that you can do it. I'm guessing. You can go to a whiteboard and point it out to me. That's all well and good. Can you do it when you have 300-pound men trying to kill you? It's a whole different ballgame. The line hasn't been good. The problem is that Houston doesn't draft linemen well. It's been bad for 10 years. That's why they had to overpay for Laramie Tunsil, because they don't do it well. That means it's probably not going to get better. You can invest all the capital in it you want. You're going to keep having guys like Kenyon Green, who was a second-round pick at best, and you took him at 14. That's what the team does. You have to take those things into account when you evaluate a guy. C.J. Stroud will never be better set up to succeed than he is right now. He's one of the best running backs in the league. Joe Mixon's been fantastic. That defense flies around, and what does he do? He constantly puts you in weird situations. He takes bad sacks. He's had some bad interceptions this year. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know which guy's the real guy. Do I have to dial back the offense and pander more to C.J. Stroud? That's not necessarily a problem. We've had successful guys that work that way. Brett Favre is one that I'm specifically thinking of. The more options Brett Favre had, I'll look at what Brian Schottenheimer gave him with the New York Jets. The more options you gave him, the more opportunities he had to make a mistake because he thought he could make every throw on the field. C.J. Stroud has that same problem.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks he can do singularly everything on a football field. He can't. He can't do it. So he puts himself in bad situations. He's got Nico Collins. Could they beat the Chargers? Sure. I get Justin Herbert, who the funny thing is, if you put C.J. Stroud with the Chargers and Justin Herbert with the Texans, I think your results would be almost exactly the same. Because what Harbaugh gives a quarterback is dialed back. It's what he's done forever, is that I want to make this as easy as humanly possible. You can use your legs if you need to. I don't want you to overdo it. I don't want you to have 5 options because that's a lot to digest in 2.5 seconds. If you put C.J. Stroud in that, I think he'd look a lot more like he did in his rookie year. The problem is that's not really what Bobby Slowick does. He did it for a rookie. Then he grew it out, and C.J. Stroud became exactly what I was afraid he was. I don't think you're fixing that in a week. And now you got to deal with 2 really good young corners. You got to deal with 2 pretty good pass rushers and a defense that has been way better than people thought it would be. This matchup's terrible for Houston. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm. They're just not where we thought they would be. Nobody's shocked that they're in the playoffs. We all had them pretty much as the winner of this division from the start of the season. And they beat the teams that they had to do that. The problem is they beat bad teams. They don't beat the good ones. They have one L. They have one win on their schedule that you look at and go, that was a statement win. They beat the Buffalo Bills. They have one game where you go, man, how in the hell did you lose to the Tennessee Titans?
And the New York Jets.
And the New York Jets. The rest of it, though, there's nothing to be sad about. Losing to the Lions and the Ravens and the Chiefs, and you're just not there yet.
Dig in. Dig into the losses.
Mm-hmm.
Lost to the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
You lost to the Packers. You lost to the Jets, the Lions, the Titans, the Chiefs, and the Ravens. What all 7 of those teams have in common?
They can get after you.
They can get after a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, they can get after you up the middle. Look at the defensive tackles on that list. Madubuike,
mm-hmm.
Quinnen Williams,
mm-hmm.
Chris Jones, Jeffrey Simmons. See something in common? You look at that. You look at that Charger team lately. They can get after you too.
Yep.
I hate this matchup for Houston. I really do. I think they have a lot of good pieces. I don't know that you have the right guy pulling the strings.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Caserio from the jump. He hit 2 draft picks, and I think we all went completely cattywampus on him, and we oversold it way too quick. Do I think they're dead in the water? No, I don't. I could easily see C.J. Stroud coming into year 3 looking more like he did in year 1. I don't know that he's ever going to look that way because nobody's going to be surprised by him ever again. And he's going to get expensive real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That extension eligibility comes up next year.
Well, this is where the maturity has to kick in.
Exactly.
This is where he has to.
This is where you have to
pick
take
it up.
the next step.
Yeah.
How many guys have we seen be really good as rookies? They take that sophomore slump, which is basically just the NFL's had a year to digest tape on you.
Mm-hmm.
They know what you can do, what you can't do. They boil it down. They keep you from doing what you want to do, and they make you beat them the way you're not comfortable beating them. If you can't do that, you're not elite. That's where C.J. Stroud is.
Mm-hmm. Got to find his way, and that third-year bump may get it done. Houston's probably not going to have a fun time in these playoffs. Number 11.
The Tampa Baker Buccaneers. Yeah, I didn't say you were good. You're gooder than those 3. And it's close. I'm not warming to Tampa Bay. I will tell you what I am warming to. Bucky Irving changes things.
Yes.
One of the things that I always railed Tampa Bay on was you can't live on a screen game as your running game and expect to beat good teams.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't do it. It's too obvious. I'll let you have that little dinky-dunky crap. I'm not going to let you beat me over the top with Mike Evans. That's what happened to them in the playoffs, is that teams would basically just put an umbrella over the top, go, you're not beating me over the top. I don't care how many times you run this. And so you would have all these empty calorie yards. With Bucky Irving, that changes things because Bucky is a dog.
He's a playmaker.
I look at that broken play and go, there's not a lot of guys that would turn that into a touchdown.
No.
Bucky did.
Yep.
That changed a lot offensively. I never thought I would say this the way I'm getting ready to say it, but I'm going to. The thing that's going to hold Tampa Bay back is not Baker Mayfield. It's the defense. The defense is terrible.
Yes.
It is terrible. Terrible. And with no Antoine Winfield, it's terribler. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the car wreck and how he is.
Mm-hmm.
They immediately scratched him for Sunday as soon as the wreck happened, which makes me think there's a great chance he ain't playing this week either. I really don't like that against Washington because he would have been so integral to the game plan against Jaden Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy you. You have a bad coach. I think you have a mediocre quarterback. It's also really damning to me when you have a defensive coach and your defense is awful.
Yes. It's been the biggest problem that I've had with this team for the last 3 years is because it's been a battle of attrition. You get worse and worse and worse in that back half. There's nothing you can do. I mean, you've thrown player after player at this thing, and it's not getting any better, and a lot of it to me has to do with the scheme. The talent's not there. I know that. But the scheme also is not good. And I wish to God I could fix it, but I can't because Todd Bowles is the head coach. And it's his system, and you're never getting rid of that.
Who pooped Todd Bowles with that look of consternation. I don't like it.
Even when things are going good, it's just still so emotionless and just Melba toast.
All right, we obviously took a long time to get through the first four teams.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing is that I think there's a break right here. Then we have three teams that I'm pretty confident are the exact same team. They just look a little bit different.
Okay. At number 10,
the Green Bay Packers.
Number 9,
the Washington Commanders.
And at number 8,
the Los Angeles Rams. You all do one thing really well. I don't know that you do two things really, really well. You've got one thing you do elite, one thing you do well, and you have one great big deficiency.
All right, so where's Green Bay elite?
They Josh Jacobs real well.
Yes.
When Josh Jacobs is rolling, that team is, I'm not going to say impossible to beat. It just simplifies the game so much for Jordan Love that he doesn't have the opportunity to make that huge mistake. My issue with Jordan Love has been, is, always will be, his propensity for making that throw that you go, what in the world did you see right there? No quarterback in the NFL has done it more in the last 2 years than Jordan Love. And sometimes he gets away with it. What did you see there? When I watch an offensive play, specifically when I look at an all-22, I will freeze it before the play even happens of, okay, what am I seeing? If I see where this play is going to go and you don't, that's unsettling to me because you do this for a living. I don't. This is part of my job. It's not all of it. I'm not an NFL quarterback. Never have been, never will be. And there are certain really basic things that Jordan Love cannot pick up on because he predetermines where a ball is going to go probably more than any quarterback I've ever seen in my life. It has to be so unabashedly covered for him to throw out of it that it's pathetic. The good thing is he's got so many weapons, especially now with Tucker Kraft, because Tucker Kraft is a safety blanket, which keeps him from trying to force feed it to Romeo Doubs or to Christian Watson or to Jaden Reed. You also have Josh Jacobs. I like the way they built this team. The problem is I don't like the trigger guy. And I don't see how you're going to beat a team that's built as well as Detroit, as well as Philadelphia, as well as Minnesota. I just don't see it. I can't make the math.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the fact that you get the Philadelphia Eagles, and, yeah, I know you played them close one time in Brazil. These are different teams now. These are completely different teams. The one thing that would scare me, though, and I do have to say this, I just want this on record that I said it, Jalen Hurts is still in concussion protocol.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tuesday. I've seen one guy in 2 years come out between Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, I can't. I can't be overly concerned about that because I don't think there's a way in hell that happens.
It's not in your control.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to pass the test.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't passed it yet, and it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Just saying. I've read this book, and I don't like this book if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll also say this. If it came down to it and I had to play Kenny Pickett or Tanner McKee, I'd play Tanner McKee, and I wouldn't think about it twice. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. If it does, it's the only shot that Green Bay's got to win. Because I just don't see you beating. I don't see you beating them full strength. I really don't.
I don't know that I care. I don't know that I care if it's Tanner McKee. I would still take Philadelphia.
Really? I can't go down that far with you. Green Bay is a good team. It's just, I'm with you. I can't trust Jordan Love. I think you got a good enough coach to be able to out-coach Nick Sirianni, but I don't think you have the talent to beat him. Especially if you're not going to have some of your full complement of weapons. At number 9 was the Washington Commanders. They're elite at quarterback, or ish. They're young elite.
I would say they're really good offensively. I think the offense runs quite nicely. My problem is that I look at the defense and I go, some of all parts, that doesn't add up.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. Dan Quinn's a really good defensive coach, and he's got these guys playing. He's filled slot, and he's got guys that play his way. Jeremy Chin made himself a lot of money this year. But I don't know that you have enough pieces. I do like that you got Tampa Bay because I love that matchup for you. Because you brought in the guy that shuts down Mike Evans every time he plays him. That worked.
That's true.
So nice for you.
That is true.
And I don't know that Jalen McMillan and Devin Culp and
he's been
Rakeem Garrett.
Devin Culp's been fun the last couple of games.
Yeah, he has. I almost played him on DraftKings last week, and I didn't.
I did. You didn't miss much. He got like 6.
Yeah. I don't remember who I did play. He scored more than that. I don't think that's beating Jaden Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
This feels to me, and the way I seeded these teams, and I'll explain this a little bit more when I get to the next team, I seeded them in order of I think you have a chance to win. Green Bay, I give very little chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
Washington, for me, is about 50-50. The next team, I actually like you to win.
All right. And that is?
The Los Angeles Rams. This is not me overreacting to Sam Darnold. I hate this matchup for Minnesota about as badly as I have ever hated a playoff matchup in my life.
Why is that?
The way Brian Flores plays defense. It works so well against mediocre to bad quarterbacks. That does not apply to Matthew Stafford.
It does not.
That does not apply to Puka Nacua. That does not apply to Cooper Kupp. And I hate the way that Minnesota plays defense lines up against the offense. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is the highest scoring game of the weekend. I'm not sure it's close. If you're playing in our battle for the belt part 2, I would have a good bit of Rams-Vikings. Because I love Justin Jefferson. I love Sam Darnold. I love Puka Nacua. I love Matthew Stafford. The difference for me is one of you has Kyron Williams and one of you has Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones can be great, and I think he's the biggest X factor, one of the biggest X factors of the first week of the playoffs. The daily draft today, we're drafting X factors in the playoffs. I'll go ahead and tell you. If you don't take Aaron Jones in the top 3, he's going to be on my team because he's real high.
Yep.
When they can run, that team is practically unbeatable.
Yes.
Because if they get you into obvious passing situations and they can do that, crowd up to the line, try to confuse the quarterback, they're sending a lot of guys when they do that in obvious passing downs. Where they can get got is they overrun the run. And Kyron Williams will kill you if you do that. That's why I hate this matchup. I would have liked Minnesota against any of the wildcard teams. I don't love them against the Rams.
My question is, where has that offense been, though? Because the last 3 weeks of the season that they all played, because they didn't play this past week, you didn't score. You couldn't score against Arizona. You couldn't score against the New York Jets. You couldn't score against San Francisco. The offense hasn't been moving.
Hey, how many of those games did you win?
I mean, they won them. I mean, they won all of those games.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Really?
You played 2 of those 3? 2 of those 3 were outside, and it was reasonable. I know it was freezing when they played the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love this team outside. Good thing is, hey, this game's in L.A.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a ton of Vikings fans. This stadium probably, at best, for the Rams will be 50-50. But there's something different with Matthew Stafford playing inside.
Okay.
That was another part of this. You know, if we were going to Minnesota, I get that's a dome too. It's a loud dome. You got that stupid horn. It's different. He's real comfortable in SoFi. That's a real fast track. And I just don't really see, cornerback-wise, how you're going to stop Puka Nacua. Now, I don't know how they're going to stop Justin Jefferson either.
Right.
A lot of points. I'm going to defer to the better quarterback. The better quarterback's Matthew Stafford.
You're in this.
I hope I'm wrong, because I want to see Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl.
Okay. I think we're a long way away from that possibly coming to fruition, but I've been wrong before. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
At Haywood Regional Medical Center, your health means everything. In an emergency, every minute matters. Get to the hospital and get the care that you need as soon as possible. Haywood Regional's emergency department provides quality care, including advanced heart care at their accredited chest pain center. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your health is nothing to wait for. For more information and to check average ER wait times, visit myhaywoodregional.com. That's myhaywoodregional.com.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Kevin Hart here for DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Tailgate.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Just visit ingalls-markets.com. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold weather will continue for the rest of the week, and low pressure coming out of the south and coming north-northeast may try to clip us here with a little bit of snow Friday and Friday night. Sunshine this afternoon, at least more than we had earlier, 35 with a breeze around. Tonight, 15 and mainly clear. Some areas in our colder nooks and crannies will be colder. Wednesday, 35 and sunny. Thursday, near freezing and sunny. Clouds thickening up and maybe a little snow by Friday afternoon. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4 VICTIMS.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The 2025 Ingalls Southern Conference Basketball Championships will be held at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, in the ExploreAsheville.com Arena, March 6th through the 10th, 2025. Tickets on sale now and available via Ticketmaster.com and at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville box office.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We're heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat, and don't forget to follow us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. It is the third hour of the program, and that means it is time for the Daily Draft. Brought to you by our good friends at Dale's Pale Ale. At today's Daily Draft, Jeremy, X factors for the playoffs?
I had a lovely cup of Campbell's chunky potato soup, so my voice is it's holding in there.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Campbell's, I probably wouldn't sound worse than I do right now. But it's X factors for the playoffs that are actually going to determine your champion.
Okay.
Now, here's the rule.
Uh-huh.
No quarterbacks.
No quarterbacks.
No quarterbacks.
Okay, you have to pick an X factor that will ultimately determine the champion that's not a quarterback.
Correct.
Okay.
I'll take the number one pick.
Oh, damn it.
It's Travis Kelce by 8 miles.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how close you come to this. How many receivers in the NFL had more receiving yards than Travis Kelce?
I'll go with 57.
You're too high.
Okay.
It's 38.
38.
How many had more receptions than he did?
Yeah, 26.
11.
Really?
He had 97 catches for 823 yards.
And 2 touchdowns.
Does that 3? You're close. Does that stat line not strike you as awkward?
I mean, it's very un-Travis Kelce.
He's averaging 8.5 yards a catch. 8.5 yards a catch.
Mm-hmm.
That is not beating the Buffalo Bills. That is not beating the Baltimore Ravens. That may not beat the Los Angeles Chargers. Because you can't trust anybody else. There's no receiver on that team that I look at and go, I know Xavier Worthy or Hollywood Brown or whatever the case may be. There is no guy. And if you're not stretching that seam with Travis Kelce, that team is infinitely beatable.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he turns into Travis Kelce again, might unfortunately be headed for that three-peat that we've talked about.
Yes, they become quite infallible at that point because it usually doesn't matter when Travis Kelce's on his game. But he hasn't shown this year that he's capable of that. I have not seen Travis Kelce work in open space like he used to.
He looks old.
Yeah.
He looks old. He looks slow.
Mm-hmm. Like he spent too much time on the road with a certain somebody, not enough time taking care of his body, which would be fine. You know, everybody makes their choices in life.
Would you
you
like
had one more chance to win another title, and I don't know that's not passing you by.
Would you like to hear a list of guys that averaged more yards per catch than Travis Kelce this year?
Yes.
James Conner,
Let's go.
who I was only kind of sure could catch footballs. Tyler Conklin, Justice Hill, Chigakonkwo, Greg Dortch, DeMario Pop Douglas. That's not good. That's not good. And the AFC is as competitive as it's always been. I think the biggest X factor in these playoffs is Travis Kelce.
Okay. All right. That was a good one. And it was actually, it felt deep divey when you first said it to me. And then I thought, there's some solid reasoning behind that. I will go over to the opposite side of the bracket, to the NFC, for my first selections of the playoffs, Super Bowl X Factor picks here. My first one's going to be Saquon Barkley. Because obvious reasons. If Saquon Barkley is not on his game, which there's no reason he shouldn't be, unless, I don't know, he's just gotten all the use you can get out of him already this year. The fact that, he's carried the ball 78 more times than anybody else in NFL history, it feels like. It's all well and good, the offense has been moving fine, but everything's got a shelf life. I feel like a running back that runs it 400 times in a season, there's a shelf life there.
Saquon Barkley was not on my list.
At all?
At all.
How?
Because I know what he's going to be.
Oh, okay.
If he gets hurt, they're screwed anyway.
Yeah.
Is he good? Then they're a contender. Does something happen to him? And I don't like to forecast injuries, and I'll be honest with you, Saquon's history, he's had a couple seasons like this. He tends to get hurt the next year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about him. I do have an Eagle, but it's not Saquon Barkley.
Interesting. He's the number one for me, because if Philadelphia is going to make it, it's going to be because of him. It's not going to be because, all of a sudden Jalen Hurts, look, he just started throwing it 40 times a game and completing 70% of his passes. It doesn't like that look swimming. No, that's not how this is going to go down. They're going to win this by continuing to bully people with Saquon Barkley.
Question is, because for me, I had a top three that was way out there past everybody else. The question is, are you going to let me get all three of them?
Sure, absolutely, I'm going to. My second pick is going to be from the Detroit Lions.
Oh?
And it's Jameson Williams. To me, he is the X factor of that offense, because I'm going down the path that you went with Saquon Barkley. I feel like I know what Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be. I feel like I know what Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be. But to get over the top, to be able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles and match them where they have 3 big weapons. I need 3 big weapons. Right? They have the 2 wide receivers in A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I need 2. I need more than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sam Laporta hasn't been that guy. He's still really good, but he hasn't been that guy this year. To me, Jameson Williams has to continue his rise here. The last few weeks, he's been stepping up and making catches, and I need him to continue that because that's my key to taking down Philadelphia, to taking down the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, whoever I end up facing in the Super Bowl.
That was a nice, deeper dive than I thought you were going to go down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
Do you know how many yards Jameson Williams had in this season? He missed 2 games.
I guess it's like 7-something.
1,001.
Oh, okay.
I know exactly what Jameson Williams is going to be.
Okay.
I need you to be a deep threat a couple times a game.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really more. He averaged 17.5 yards a catch. I'm good with that. I'm just going to play off that.
Yep.
I had a Detroit Lion way up high, and it's the one you didn't say.
Okay.
Sam Laporta.
Okay.
If Sam Laporta becomes that guy again
Mm-hmm.
and is able to give me another guy that can be a matchup nightmare, I think that would make Detroit borderline unbeatable.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know how you stop it.
Yes.
I already know I have the deep threat in Jameson Williams. I treat him as more of a foregone conclusion, I think, than you do.
Yes.
Laporta has had one elite game all year. However, something you did not say. He had 7 touchdowns all year. 4 of them came in the last 6 games. That tells me something.
Mm-hmm.
That tells me that Ben Johnson's looking at Laporta going, I got to get him involved because when it gets into the nitty-gritty and into January, that's the guy I need.
Mm-hmm.
That he was my 3.
Okay.
I took him right there because I have 2 picks back-to-back. The one you didn't say, and I'm dumbfounded that you didn't say it, is one Derek Nathaniel Henry, they call him King Henry, of the Baltimore Ravens. You cannot win a Super Bowl without him being elite. I can't say that about any other player. Not one. Not one non-quarterback. Even Kelsey, who I think is super important, it's because I don't buy Kansas City that much.
Mm-hmm.
I have a weird feeling we're going to get an Andy Reid resorts back to the Philadelphia days and chokes away a game that he shouldn't. I don't know why. It's just burning feeling. That
You don't feel that way about Saquon?
No, I don't.
Because Devontae and AJ could be the saviors.
I told you I had an Eagle.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And I was just go ahead and tell you, if you want, might be one of those fellers. If you want him, you better take him in your next set of picks. He's not
I was
going
gonna
to
say, there's one will come back to you.
Derrick Henry, to me, is the X factor for the Baltimore Ravens because he gives you that thing that I've never seen you have before. I've seen you be good running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You were good with Mark Ingram. I've never seen you be elite where I can absolutely grind out a game and not do it with Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry, an elite Derrick Henry, I would say I would like Baltimore better than Kansas City right now.
Okay.
I can beat you more different ways than Kansas City can.
I can get down with that. My next selection, I will go ahead and take one of those Eagles wide receivers. And for me, it's Devontae.
That was the one that I wanted.
To me, it's Devontae because, again, I'm not worried about AJ. And it's not necessarily an I'm worried about Devontae problem. It's I'm worried about Jalen. It hasn't been there, right? Whatever made us once say Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback in this league.
Drugs.
Or
recreational drugs. There was
cusp,
weed in the water,
right,
man.
Right. However we got led down that path, he has not been that. No. And he hasn't had that. He hasn't been able to put together that game right? That game where he finds everybody. I'm thinking back, there was a game last year where they just went complete nanners, and it was 2 touchdowns for A.J. Brown, and it was 2 touchdowns for Jalen Hurts, and it was 2 touchdowns for Devontae Smith. They're not spreading the ball around like that. To be able to
I believe the game you're referring to is against Washington.
Probably. They're not spreading the ball around like they used to. And I get a lot of that has to do with Saquon Barkley, right? It's when you have that workhorse, you're using it. Right? You're going to beat that drum to death. And they've done that with Saquon. And that has generally taken Devontae out of the game plan. You need all your weapons firing on all cylinders.
Devontae is a formidable selection. I'm going to warn you of something.
Yes.
Before you make your next pick.
Okay.
I'm gonna cheat.
He's gonna cheat.
It's not cheating how I said it, but you're gonna accuse me of it when I make the selection. I just want you to put that in your hat before you say the next words that are going to come out of your mouth.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a hint at something, but my next X factor for the playoffs. I mean, if I got to go non-quarterback, I think I'm going with Zay Flowers.
I considered Zay, and I think he's really high up there.
Because if he's, again, when you have very few weapons to work with to begin with, you can't lose any. And if Zay's not right, then the team's chances to not only make a run here, but to even get out of the first weekend are pretty slim at this point. Or at least you're sitting on a very fine line there.
Zay is paramount to Baltimore's ability to win big games. I think he could have 3 catches for 31 yards and then beat Pittsburgh.
Good.
I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is if you get into a shootout and it's Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, which, by the way, please give us that game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ask for much. I'm a simple man. I don't care who we feed to Kansas City. Just give me that play-in game to get to Kansas City.
How are you competing when Josh Allen's going to put up 35 or more without Zay Flowers? I don't know that it can be done.
It would be tough, and there would be a lot on the ground. And you'd have to have a great game out of a Tylan Wallace or Rashad Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I told you.
Come on, cheater.
I was going to cheat. What were the parameters of what I said? This is the X factor of the playoffs, and the caveat was no quarterbacks.
No quarterbacks.
It's the officials. How many of these games come down to one call that falls on the Kansas City Chiefs?
Okay.
I was trying to direct you away from the chat because they've been screaming that. And I'm like, shut up. I did this on purpose. He's not going to think of that. I know it. I know definitively he's not going to think of it.
Yeah.
Kansas City is the team that officials look at, and they just get the calls because they're better. What happens if they don't get that call? That's why I keep going back to the Andy Reid thing. His teams never did. When he was in Philadelphia, they never got those calls. It's almost been like officials have been trying to make that up to him for 7 years in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you don't get that break? Can Pat overcome not getting that call? Or does that call burn somebody else? They've been a problem all year. There's no reason to think they won't be a problem now. That worked.
Pretty good.
So well.
Good for you.
I baited you into that, too. I was like, no quarterbacks. Don't ask any other questions.
All right, and then?
James Cook.
That's a good
James Cook and I win. I don't care. I don't care who you take. You notice that every game that you walk away from the Buffalo Bills and go, my God, who is going to beat them? James Cook goes nanners in every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
He is so pivotal to the way Joe Brady calls that offense that when he's cooking, I don't know that anybody, Detroit included, can beat them because it makes it so hard to defend them. Not because the receivers are elite, but because they're so multiple. And then you get Ty Johnson slipping out of the backfield with 2 running backs on each side of Josh Allen. It's so different from what you see from any other team. It's so different than teams are built to beat schematically. And I think he is really – everybody's going to lean on Josh Allen, and I get it. Josh Allen's going to be special no matter what. As long as we keep bad Josh away, I need somebody else to come out to play. And the one that I really look at is James Cook.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm also going to take a running back. I'm taking J.K. Dobbins. Follow me down the path here.
Well, they can't run a greasy pig up a cat's keister without no J.K. Dobbins.
Right, then there's no J.K. Dobbins. That running game disappears completely. We all know that Jim Harbaugh, that's kind of an important part of the system that he runs, is being able to move the ball on the ground and control the game clock.
Well, that's because the Chargers' depth chart at running back is J.K. Dobbins, me, a lottery ticket, and, hey, you remember that kid that was good at Michigan for like 15 minutes about 5 years ago?
Yes. You nailed it. And if J.K. Dobbins is on his game, right, he's doing his thing and they're moving the offense, I don't have much apprehension about Justin Herbert not playing well in the playoffs or, Lad McConkey not catching balls or anything like that. I got faith in all that stuff. I don't have faith in them being able to run the ball without J.K. Dobbins, and if they can't do that, they may not beat Houston this week. But if they do beat Houston, and when they beat Houston this week, if J.K. Dobbins plays well, they can knock out the Chiefs in the next round and be done with it. And then we have no more to worry about. Now we got to figure out, okay, well, now the Chiefs are out of it, and everybody's happy. Go back through the chat here on this here episode and count how many people have said, "Dear God, don't give me the Chiefs in the Super Bowl."
Hey, as two guys that'll be there, I agree with you.
We've seen it enough, right? This will be the 5th time in 6 years that we've seen them in the Super Bowl. Everybody's kind of tired of this thing. Would it be cool to see a team in your lifetime go 3 in a row? Yeah,
No.
probably.
No,
I would dig it.
No, I'm good. I don't need to see it ever. Frankly, I don't like seeing teams do it back to back. I sure as hell don't want to see 3.
Right. I mean, I could dig it. It'd be a hell of an achievement, but you want to give everybody what they want in these playoffs? J.K. Dobbins holds the keys to everybody's heart because they already played the Chiefs close. They already almost beat them. They were just a missed field goal away from beating them, and this time it could be the thing that makes us all happiest about the playoffs.
All right, rapid fire. You've got one more pick. I got one more pick. We got an undrafted free agent.
Oh dear. Okay.
And make the pick. 1 sentence.
Oh geez. Let's see. I will go with Bucky Irving. Just Bucky Irving.
Bucky Irving.
I mean, he is the backbone now of making this offense. I want to say spectacular, but it's close.
There it was. Counselor, would you like to present your closing arguments? He didn't do it. And I'm done.
He didn't do it. What do you mean?
State your case.
Bucky Irving. I don't need anything more. If you've watched him play over the last few weeks, Bucky Irving, he is the missing piece to making that Liam Cohen offense run.
Counselor, would you like to make your closing arguments? The defense rests.
Yes.
You've already done that.
Yes.
That is not how this goes. I told you I was going to cheat, but I didn't tell you I was only going to cheat once.
Oh, dear.
Motor City Madman Dan Campbell. I think if anything can stop Detroit, it's him. It's his decisions to recklessly go for it on 4th down. I get it. It steers into your personality. It's what you do. I understand. There is no Kyle Shanahan. I mean, if you look up and down, the best coach in these playoffs is Sean McVay on the NFC side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he has the horses to beat you. So MCDC is my last pick, and then my undrafted free agent is Nick Sirianni because he's the X factor for the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, cheater. Good job.
I said non-quarterback. You named me one quarterback I took on.
You did not. You did not take
a
quarterback.
I did foghorn leghorn to the dog, pull you out by the tail and go, bye, 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 bye.
You take so much joy in that. It amazes me every time. You're like, I beat taking picking stuff that I made up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good job for you. Way to go.
Make it up.
Good
It's
job.
our game.
I will with the last
You
pick.
can
I
cheat,
will.
too.
With the last pick, I will take the guy that you said I'm definitely taking him high if you don't. Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I actually never got there because I had 8 names on my list and I got 7 of them.
Yeah, good for you. Good job.
I did figure you would see through I was very clear not to say anything else.
Sure. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We'll wrap up the Wild Card Week Power Rankings next.
At Haywood Regional Medical Center, your health means everything. In an emergency, every minute matters. Get to the hospital and get the care that you need as soon as possible. Haywood Regional's emergency department provides quality care, including advanced heart care at their accredited chest pain center. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your health is nothing to wait for. For more information and to check average ER wait times, visit myhaywoodregional.com. That's myhaywoodregional.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. Every day, ZipRecruiter helps people who are actively looking for jobs like yours, so it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Watching Clorox cleanup spray dissolve tough grime in the shower feels like...
Wait, this really just happened? I'm shocked. Underwear and everything?
It feels like being able to zip up your overpacked suitcase on the first try.
Smooth.
With Clorox, clean feels satisfying. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Tailgate.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold weather will continue for the rest of the week, and low pressure coming out of the south and coming north-northeast may try to clip us here with a little bit of snow Friday and Friday night. Sunshine this afternoon, at least more than we had earlier, 35 with a breeze around. Tonight, 15 and mainly clear. Some areas in our colder nooks and crannies will be colder. Wednesday, 35 and sunny. Thursday, near freezing and sunny. Clouds thickening up and maybe a little snow by Friday afternoon. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Kevin Hart here for DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
At Ingles, we are proud to introduce our all-new curbside service. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app to order, and our friendly staff will bring your groceries right to your car and have you ready to go in no time. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks Community heroes. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the areas that were hardest hit in those first hours. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
And the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. It's Power Rankings Tuesday.
It's a weird time in the world.
It is a strange time.
We're going to war with Greenland and the Panama Canal.
Right.
I don't even know how that would happen.
Yeah. Apparently the president, or the incoming president, the used-to-be president, was asked today whether or not he would rule out military action to secure Greenland and the Panama Canal to be ours as America. And he went, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't rule it out.
I mean, Panama, I understand military action. What exactly do you need to take over Greenland? I'm pretty sure 8 guys I went to college with load up. 1 case of white lightning in the back. We're coming. We got it. We got it, boys.
Maybe. I don't know.
There's 8 shotguns, and Cooter over here, he scared the sin out of a couple of them.
Don't they have, like, Vikings up there or something? Like,
Maybe.
I don't know. They might be tough for
I know it's very
a
icy.
minute or two.
Because Greenland's icy and Iceland is green.
Yeah, I've always heard that as well.
Never understood that.
That's not.
Can y'all just trade names? You make it make way more sense.
Right. All right, it is a Power Rankings Tuesday. You never know what's going to happen these days.
No, because Tank has the attention span of a wombat, so he meanders off to things.
It's a headline came up. We're going to war with Greenland, and I went, "What?"
You should disable those things, because if that's what's happening, it explains why I feel like I'm doing this show with a toddler.
Yes.
Hey, look, can I have some ice cream? Look at my shoes. They make me run fast. Look at the stars.
I actually have those
I-
now.
Wait.
I have light-up shoes that make me run fast. I got them for Christmas. It's like the best Christmas present I've gotten in 20 years.
You
It's
got
awesome.
some LA gears?
I did.
Oh, my.
I did. I'm gonna wear them to the Super Bowl when we go.
I'm going to bet $1 million that you don't.
Oh, I guarantee you I will. We're gonna be partying on Bourbon Street. I'm gonna be wearing my light-up shoes.
I'm going to be honest with you. If you're wearing your light-up shoes, the only we is going to be you and your invisible friend.
I can't wait.
Because I'm going to be hanging out with the
It's gonna be
NFL
great.
people going, hey, did you catch a glimpse of Bobo the Love Sponge over here with his light-up shoes? Because I promise you, I will.
All right, the Power Rankings Tuesday. The playoff teams ranked 14 to 1. We have worked our way up to number 7 on the list.
The Los Angeles Chargers.
I really want the Chargers to win this week, and I really want them to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
I feel like the next 3 teams on this list they're a tier in and of themselves.
All right, at 7 is
And it's not just that they have strange colors that you don't usually see on football teams.
okay. So number 7 is the Chargers. Number 6.
You forgot how numbers work.
I was going the other way.
It's not how that works.
8 comes after 7. Damn it! Shut up.
Not when you're going down. The Minnesota Vikings.
And number 5,
The Baltimore Ravens.
all these teams are the same.
No, I didn't say they were the same. I said they had something in common.
Okay.
I could see all of you having a road that ends this weekend. I could see all of you being in the conference championship game because there is a path that both of those things happen.
Yes, I will.
I
agree with
cannot say that about the 7 below you. The 7 below you, they will be lucky to win a game. There is no further dalliance in the playoffs.
Yes.
The Chargers are the first one that I look at and go, if you win, you probably get Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like the chances of Denver or Pittsburgh winning. So you're probably the low seed.
Right.
And I can see a way that the way you play is enough. Minnesota, I am a little worried about what I saw out of Sam Darnold. Not because I'm worried about the talent, but because I've done this with Sam for so long that I know mentally a bad game can lead to 4 bad games for him. That's it's been one of the biggest knocks on him is that he does not have that what's the word I'm looking for?
What, the short memory?
Short-term memory loss. He doesn't forget things. They stick with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a little bit worried that he could carry that into this week. How worried? Five.
Yeah.
Scale of 10.
Scale of 1 to 10, you're a 5? Okay.
Because now that's the negative of Sam. Here's the beauty of Sam. If he can come out and start hot, it'll be gone in 6 throws.
Right.
He comes out and starts hot against the Rams, that's gone. I'll know in 2 drives which Sam are you getting today. But that is still a risk.
Mm-hmm.
And if Sam gets hot, they can beat anybody. I won't like them against Detroit probably at any point. But I could see a path I like them against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Because that defense against Jalen Hurts, and I just see a potential there. Then we get to Baltimore. I don't know what to do with Baltimore. They don't quite feel like one of those 4 elite teams, but they don't quite feel like they belong with everybody else. The Vikings and the Chargers have played so well the last handful of weeks, minus last week for Minnesota, that I kind of feel like they've turned into the same team. You have that high side. You have that unbelievable ability to be so good. But then there's the bad that just looks so clunky for extended periods of time. And with Baltimore, I also worry about how many grumpers do I have to see from Lamar Jackson in the playoffs before I go, that's what you do.
You hope at some point he's going to grow out of that. You hope at some point that it's, okay, so now it took us 2 MVP seasons to get to the point where now you can win consistently in the playoffs. Hopefully you will reach that point at some point. It's a good way to start. one game at a time. Take care of business against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then you got to go to Buffalo. And then you're going to have to prove it in Buffalo against Josh Allen. And to me, that's a coin flip. It could go either way. I don't like your chances. But there's a chance that you could come away the winner there. I will not be shocked if we if we are treated to the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Chargers in the conference championship game. I almost don't like the Ravens, or I almost like the Chargers more than the Ravens, because the Ravens are going to have the tougher task. They win this weekend, they got to go to Buffalo. Unless the Broncos pull off the miracle, which I'd see no shot of happening.
I don't either.
The Ravens got a lot to prove. They've never proved it before, and so this is the point where everybody has to take a step back and go, when it comes to giving you my vote of confidence, you're at the bottom of all the Super Bowl, legit Super Bowl contenders. But to me, it says something that you're still in that list. They're at the bottom of the Super Bowl contenders, but they are a contender. At number 4.
Now we're to the legit contenders. I believe your Super Bowl champion will come from one of the next 4 teams, that I say.
Mm-hmm.
The Kansas City Chiefs. I get it. It sounds weird to say you believe in the 2-time reigning Super Bowl champions less than you believe in the other 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I do. I see problems with Kansas City that I don't really know how you fix. The defense is young. The defense has played over its skis at times.
Mm-hmm. Just like they did last year.
Do you feel like the defense is elite?
No.
Neither do I.
I do not.
Do you feel like the offense is elite?
I do not.
So this is kind of where my problem comes in with Kansas City. If they were any other team, we wouldn't even be talking about them in this tier.
No.
And I get it. You finished 15-2. You were 15-1 before you had a game where you played nobody. I get it. You keep finding ways to win. A lot of people, and a lot of them are in our chat, would jump out there to say, yeah, and a lot of those have been games that we will say officiating may have played a role.
Mm-hmm.
Dynasties are hard. There's a reason that they don't happen. New England did because they had Tom.
Mm-hmm.
They also had a nice baseline of players. They got picked off every single year. And about every other year, you would have a game in the playoffs where New England would come in. Sometimes it was in Foxborough. Sometimes it wasn't. And they would just come up against a team that was better.
Mm-hmm.
Because that team had loaded up everything for this year, and they had just stayed kind of copacetic. He got. I think this is the year you get got. Because Buffalo looks like they're on a mission to me. And I know we've done this before. We've also never done this before where Buffalo didn't just beat you in the regular season. They practically near embarrassed you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your one loss, it's almost like Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois. Your one loss felt like more than one loss to me. I get it. You lost to a good team.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't threatened by you. They were having fun with you. Now, if that galvanizes you, would I be shocked? Nope. Seen you do it before.
Yep.
But that felt different. That game was the week that everything kind of changed for me. Okay, I'm done with just I'm not going to say I don't believe in Kansas City in terms of they could win a Super Bowl. I'm just going to say I don't believe if all things are equal, you're going to come out on the right side of Buffalo more often than you're not. And that's what all this is.
Yep. 3 times we've seen Patrick Mahomes and company win a Super Bowl. We have seen them rule the AFC for the last 7 years. It's been a long time. This dynasty is in full effect, and it is secure. A loss in these playoffs is not going to end that.
No.
It's just going to show you, or it's going to show Brett Veach and Andy Reid, really what was missing so they can come back and win it next year. Which is the problem that we all have with Kansas City right now. It's the same thing that we had with New England, right? It felt like it was never going to end. What was the streak that they had? It was like 15 straight division titles or something like that. Unbelievable run of dominance. And it's not going to end anytime soon. So many, so many people have resigned themselves to this is probably going to happen again. We'll probably end up with the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl once again. We could have Eagles-Chiefs again.
I am not resigning myself to that because I believe we are what will snap the curse. We will be there. And I believe in a just and loving God that's not going to force me to watch that.
That won't happen. Kansas City at 4, it does sound off. But, there again, they give you all the reasons to doubt. And they have. Every year we've done this same thing. I feel like every year we've gone into this going, they look gettable now. Well, they weren't gettable last year or the year before. They may have lost more games in those seasons, but those teams were better. And that's the thing that scares me. At number 3.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Can Nick Sirianni...
But, yeah, no, none of it's changed for me.
Mm-hmm. Can Nick Sirianni screw this up?
Yes.
I'd agree.
Let me ask you a question. The Bills play this weekend against the Denver Broncos. Would it shock you if they lost?
The Bills?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Lions don't play this week. Obviously, Kansas City doesn't play this week.
Mm-hmm.
Would it shock you if Philadelphia lost to Green Bay?
Shock me? No.
The answer is no.
I mean, I'd be mildly surprised.
That's exactly how I wanted you to put that, because that's the difference.
Yeah.
There's still something about Philadelphia. I get how talented your roster is. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I get it. I also understand that I don't like your quarterback and I don't like your coach, and it's really hard for me to rationale in my brain that somehow you're going to find a way to get over those two things, especially when you have teams that are built for the playoffs. And look, Philadelphia's built for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good defense. It's also a really young defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just not sure that you have enough pieces to beat the Dan Campbells of the world.
Good thing is you don't have to face one of those for at least the first 2 games of the playoffs. So,
well, no, but you got to play a Matt LaFleur, and you got to play the lower seed or the higher seed in the second round. All right, so that means in the second round you're going to play a Rams or a Vikings. I don't love that. That's 2 difficult matchups. Now, could be that you get Tampa Bay and Detroit gets Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I would like that a lot better, by the way. That's rule number 1 of why division winners should not get better seeds. Why it's really stupid, and I don't know why we still do it.
Mm-hmm.
But Tampa Bay's the only one that I feel really good about. Like if Philadelphia played Minnesota, it's a coin flip game to me.
Okay.
They play the Rams, that's a coin flip game to me. I like that it's in Philadelphia. I like that it's outside. I like that it's probably going to be cold. That's a coin flip game to me. I don't feel that way about the other 2.
Yeah. I feel way better. I'd feel way better about them playing Minnesota. I think they could control the game against them. I think the defense would be good enough to keep them at bay. I mean, it's going to be close pretty much with everybody. And maybe that, and I guess that goes to the point that you're making of you feel confident that the Chiefs would win against pretty much anybody because they've been there, because they're seasoned, because they don't make the crucial mistake at the end to give the game away. The Buffalo Bills, super talented. They're way better than the Denver Broncos. Yeah, I guess there's not that split in the NFC because all of these could be close games. At number 2.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Josh Allen, James Cook, that offense has been unbelievable this year. The added wrinkle of Joe Brady bringing in the running game the way that he has been phenomenal. I didn't think this team could be this good without a star wide receiver.
I didn't either. I didn't think the defense was as good as it's been.
And they still don't have one.
No, Amari Cooper's been irrelevant.
Right. I mean, he's been decoy. Essentially, that's what he's been. He's come in and he's had a couple of catches here and there, but for the most part, he's just taking coverage away from Josh Allen so he can run more, or taking it away from James Cook so he can catch more screen passes.
The thing that would scare me if I was a team in the AFC, I don't think you've seen the best of Keon Coleman yet. You've got him and Mac Hollins, who play on the outside. It's two of the better blocking receivers in the NFL. It's getting cold, and anybody not named the Kansas City Chiefs is going to have to beat them in Buffalo. And that is going to be a very tall order. I still can't put them over the one team that's left, though.
And number 1.
The Detroit Lions. It's the best team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Their good is gooder than yours. Do I still have some fears? Yeah, I have fears with everybody. I have less with Detroit than I have with anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen A+ from the Lions, and I've seen it a lot.
That offense is historic.
It's really tough to deal with.
I don't know where it ranks, yards and points and all that, but I have to imagine it's one of the best ever of all time. Because that's just what it looks like with my eyeballs, because you don't know where it's coming from. In the daily draft, Jeremy was talking about Sam Laporta. If Sam Laporta can step up and be the guy that he was last year, there may not be a team that's ever existed that could beat this team if that happens. They have the full package. The running game, pass game, quarterback that you can trust. Can you trust him on the biggest stage in the biggest game? That's the only question left.
To answer your question, this is the fourth. Nope, that is not correct because that's not sorted that way. This is the fourth most points a team has ever scored in NFL history.
There you go.
Now, that's a little biased because they're markedly further down the list in points per game. Because we have the extra game now.
Right.
The only 3 teams that ever scored more points than this year's Detroit Lions was the 2018 Chiefs, the 2007 Patriots, and the 2013 Broncos.
Mm-hmm. Where are they points per game? I'm just curious now.
33.2.
I mean, like ranking-wise. Is there like a bunch of teams that are in front of them?
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roughly 10th.
Okay, so
I mean, they're still.
I mean, I was going to say, I thought you were saying that like they were, down there. Top 10 all time. I'll take it.
You have to do the separation of when we went to the 16-game schedule and when we go to the 17, and the chart I'm looking at is not sortable. So
right.
I'm having to.
I was going to say, I mean, if you're going by points per game, that should solve that. And if you're top 10 offense of all time, you got a pretty good chance.
Now, I will go a step further. Of teams that have ever averaged 33 or more points per game,
mm-hmm.
they give up the third fewest points of any team on that list. They only give up 20.1 points per game.
With suspect talent.
The only 2 better.
That's missing key pieces.
The only 2 better were that 07 Patriots team that was at 17.1 and the 19 Ravens that were 17.6.
Mm-hmm.
The 99 Rams came really close. They were at 32.9. They gave up 15 points a game.
On paper, the Detroit Lions should be able to win a Super Bowl.
They should.
And that's what's going to make this maddening if it doesn't happen. Which which I believe I also said yesterday, like the Buffalo Bills, you have the best chance you've ever had to win a Super Bowl this year. The Baltimore Ravens, this is probably the best chance you've ever had at winning a Super Bowl. And if you don't get it done, I mean, obviously it's going to be a disappointment.
I do feel like we should get like a key to the city of Detroit, though. If they win a Super Bowl, and that's the first time we've ever been to
That's
Detroit.
right. Lucky charms.
We showed up, all of a sudden you win a Super Bowl.
No doubt.
I'm just saying. Can't say we were the reason.
Mm-mm.
You also can't say we weren't the reason.
Exactly. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. One of Jeremy's favorite days is coming up tomorrow.
Oh, mock draft Wednesday.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm officially to the I need a lozenge point.
Yes. Soup, lozenge, rest. That is your prescription for the rest of the night.
3-hour mock draft live tomorrow, answering all your questions. Let's go.
Indeed. Join us right here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400, and, of course, everywhere on the iHeart Radio app.
Draft must, time is here. Time for joy and time for... if you haven't taken that Christmas tree down yet, just reapportion it.
Draft tree.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
When it comes to making fantasy picks on your favorite players, you want excitement, but you also want a platform you can trust. Better Picks is available in over 30 states, so if you're hearing this, it's probably available for you.
Better Picks is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Just pick more or less on your favorite player stats and put your skills to the test.
With Better Picks, you get the thrill of playing for up to 1,000 times your cash. So go ahead, make your picks and play for big wins with super fast payouts and withdrawals.
Go to betterpicks.com, BETRpicks.com, or download Better on the app or Play Store and use promo code RADIO to play for up to 1,000 times your cash. Plus, new users get up to a $200 match on their first deposit. And join thousands playing across the U.S.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
I applied for FEMA assistance, but I don't know the status.
If you've applied and haven't heard anything, you might need to make sure your information is correct.
Well, how do I do that?
The same way you applied. You can go online to disasterassistance.gov or call 1-800-621-3362. If you'd rather get in-person help, you can go to a disaster recovery center.
Where can I find one?
You can find your nearest DRC by going to FEMA.gov/DRC.
Okay, I'll stay in touch with FEMA.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the tailgate.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold weather will continue for the rest of the week, and low pressure coming out of the south and coming north-northeast may try to clip us here with a little bit of snow Friday and Friday night. Sunshine this afternoon, at least more than we had earlier. 35 with a breeze around. Tonight, 15 and mainly clear. Some areas in our colder nooks and crannies will be colder. Wednesday, 35 and sunny. Thursday, near freezing and sunny. Clouds thickening up and maybe a little snow by Friday afternoon. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire with Express Employment Professionals. With contract and full-time workers from Express Employment, you get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at ExpressPros.com. That's ExpressPros.com.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is J.W. Whitley with Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I'm so excited to introduce you to this month's Parks Community Hero, Meals on Wheels. Meals on Wheels, with the help of numerous volunteers, delivers nutritious meals and friendly conversation to homebound seniors. Throughout their meal delivery program, you can help seniors keep their independence. To get involved, visit MOWABC.com. Thank you to Meals on Wheels and congratulations, our Parks Community Hero. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.